go.
Um,
Let's go.
so let's pick up from where we left last time. It was kind of a exciting endeavor. We reconvened in the city of Phandalin at the Stonehill Inn as per usual. We're about to come downstairs and kind of suss out the day and figure out where we wanted to go after our previous encounters. Celeste was feeling a little bit guilty for the indirect murder, essentially, of a kind dwarf. He's feeling a little badly about it and pondering his life, so he decided to stay behind. Whether he was being genuinely regretful or was just hiding something, we don't know yet. We might discover that later. But he did stay behind in this adventure to kind of contemplate life, etc. In the meantime, the rest of you went downstairs and enjoyed some breakfast. Unfortunately, Helga was not around, and so you learned that not everyone at the Stonehill Inn is a fan of Seducius. There might be some weird relationship things happening later on. We'll never know. We'll see. Um,
Want to talk about it?
yeah. What did we say her son's name was again? I totally forgot.
Ooh.
I think it started with a G.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, if it comes up, we'll figure it out. You kind of sat down for a little bit, ate some breakfast. As you were listening to breakfast, you overheard a table not too far away from you. These two older, grizzled-looking men kind of chatting. One maybe a little bit louder than he should have been given the drink he was consuming. And you overheard tales of a strange lighthouse on the west coast of the Sword Coast that you kind of were intrigued by, and so you decided to strike up a little bit more of a conversation with them. At first, they were pretty dodgy, but after some successful persuasion checks by Flux, they were more wanting to share things with you. And they did share that off the western coast, that there was this lighthouse that was starting to kind of activate again, and a strange glow was basically causing ships to crash into the rocks off of the coast. They also kind of stated that because of that, there's probably a bunch of treasure in those shipwrecks, and they were hoping to plunder the depths and get some back. You convinced them to tell you where to go, and they did, and so you kind of made your way to see if you could also go treasure hunting a bit. Along the way, you camped out maybe a day or so's walk outside of Phandalin at the crossroads of the high road, at which point you were sneakily robbed by bandits because um, Torin and Seducius didn't seem to pay attention to what was happening on the road. So, in an effort to get back your gold, which had been stolen, almost all of it, you went on a little detour and tried to pursue those bandits by a given direction by a kind of upset squirrel. And as you followed the bandits into the forest, you did have quite the battle in a pretty intense ambush. But you did survive and were able to recoup your gold and a bit of a cool little magical necklace that Flux kind of pocketed and decided to take on her own. After that, you head back to the coast after another day's kind of rest because you were pretty badly beaten up. And as you slept on the coastline, you were approached by a very gentlemanly crab. That was weird. And the crab, Sir Crabasis, informed you
The
that
stream ended.
Cricket noise? You see that, Nate?
I did.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think for whatever reason I'm like air servering to my computer, and it just decided to not do that anymore. I don't know why. I'll get the stream again. And you eventually found out this crab was actually a magical crab that was imparted powers by a haunted banshee who was trying to get the crab to convince passersby to aid her in putting her to rest permanently. So you decided to because Sir Crabasis was pretty awesome and very polite, very kind crab. And as you kind of discovered more from this banshee Moral, you discovered that she was basically cursed to live her existence in undeath as a banshee because her magical focus was stolen by a anchorite of Talos, who's kind of an evil storm god. This anchorite of Talos, Moesco, has basically taken over this area, this stone structure, this temple. And That's what's kind of causing these lights and causing these ships to crash. And so we kind of continue down the causeway um, to kind of discover a little bit more of what's happening, see if we could find this conch shell magical focus from Aral when you kind of made your way up to the plateau and the main kind of stone outcrop. At which point you were attacked by harpies, and that's where we picked up. So I think I'm going to need initiative rolls again. We're going to start off right that way. I need everyone, including Sless, to roll initiative for me.
Can you tell me what a harpy is? Are we supposed to know or not really?
Harpy.
You're gonna see them.
Like an angel thing?
So it's kind of like an evil half bird, half woman. In fact, let me see if I can show you. Hold on one second.
You never played like Yu-Gi-Oh, dude? Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Where's my dice?
Harpy's lady, dude. I used to slay with that card.
What are we rolling?
Initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do too good.
I got.
4.
Am I telling you?
Yeah, give me 1 second though. I'm gonna show Craig what a harpy is.
2. I had to reset the camera real quick.
Putting in the chat.
Yeah.
Dude, if you put a spider in there, I'm seriously.
I wasn't, but now I really want to.
God.
Okay, this is a harpy. Oop, that's not gonna let me do that.
It sounds like a heartbeat.
Harpy. Harpy.
Harpy.
Harpy.
I don't see anything.
Not to be confused with other things.
Correct. Is it gonna let me do it from there? No, that's annoying. Hold on. I gotta do it the hard way.
Michael Tobias gave us a shout out, by the way,
How
in
so?
my training yesterday. He was talking about how he loves watching us, and that he's and he like asked me during the train, like, "What's your character's name?" I was like,
Seducious, of course.
You should send him a link right now in the chat.
You should.
Oh my god!
Always good
If
to
you
get more.
send that in the chat, I bet you a bunch of people will watch.
Alright, that's a harpy in the chat. You should send a bunch of people the link. Why not? It'll be fun. It's always entertaining to
Yeah.
give them something to watch.
That's a
while they're bored at
harpy.
home.
Why?
What is that?
Yo, why is the harpy kind of cute though?
So that actually is part of the harpy's backstory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you don't know that as a character.
it's like the girls I liked in high school.
Oh god. You mean the girl that you married and then subsequently divorced with several children?
I liked a few other girls before that. Okay, like.
Jeez. Okay. Now that we're here, let's get our characters in. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Delete.
Peak hot topic mall goth.
Insert.
Some hot girls are cute.
She got a fairy tattooed on her shoulder. What's going on?
What you got in there?
Okay, Flux, what'd you get for initiative?
17 total.
17, nice. And then Seducius?
13.
And then Sless?
4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of work out for this. Torn?
2.
And then Zendri?
10.
10. Alright, let's insert a couple of these baddies.
Maybe I should put the stream up on my TV.
Dude, the stream looks so cool, man.
Yeah, I've been like tinkering a little bit to try to find something. As soon as I get an overlay that I like, I think it'll be a little better.
Let's see it.
That
That's
looks
a little
pretty
slow. I'm
good.
gonna just make that a little bigger for now. Hold on a second. I don't want this. Okay, how's that? A little bit easier to see?
I don't see anything.
What am
Oh,
I
that's right. I
supposed
haven't gone live yet. My fault.
Huh.
Whoops. Whoops. Burp, 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 burp. Burp. Okay.
Yeah, this is a cool feature though.
It is pretty handy, right? I find it way,
Yeah.
way cool.
Oh, Jeremy hasn't seen the friggin' little 8-bit people you made too.
Yeah. Hopefully the creator of them gets a little more variety, which would be cool. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I think we've got everybody. All right, first up is actually going to be Flux. Let me just put you a little bit of where I remember you guys being. Flux. It's your move. You see two harpies. That's H1 and H2. In front of you as they kind of are swooping in.
Okay.
H2 down here.
I think I'm going to. I'm gonna throw out the hunter's mark, and then attack with my rapier.
Okay, so Hunter's Mark's on. Go ahead and roll to hit.
I got 8.
8. Okay, that misses. So anything else you'd like to do with your turn? You want to move anywhere? Well, you moved up to attack H1, I'm assuming, so you're probably
Yeah,
here.
so.
So that'll bring us back to actually H1. Seeing that you attacked her, she's going to attack you back. So first thing you're going to hear, I need everyone. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. That's everybody here, including you, Celeste, down that hill there. I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw as you hear this like haunting, beautiful melody come out of the harpy's voice. She seems to like the beauty of her voice kind of is really juxtaposed to just kind of her like sort of ugly half avian features.
Nate, is that me like letter E or something at the bottom? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Just so I'm clear, it's D20 plus wisdom, right?
Yeah. On your character sheet, there's a section that says saving throws. You're gonna add that.
Yeah, I see that. Yep.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I got 20.
Okay.
Not a perfect 20. I got 19 plus 1.
14.
Okay.
I got 18
23.
total.
Did anyone get less than 11? I just didn't hear that last part.
That.
Mhm.
So, as you guys hear this, for a moment, you kind of like arrest, and it really does kind of compel you, and you feel yourself just about to take a step closer to the harpy, but you kind of shake it off, and you're able to kind of like withstand her beguilement. I think that's gonna end that one's turn. So, Seducius, that brings us to you now.
I want to try my thunderclap on H1. So I need to move closer though, so I'm not gonna affect anyone else.
Slap them cheeks, dude.
It's like thunder twerking. It's like a repeated.
No.
I mean, I would try and kiss the harpy first, but
That's like death, dude. You're not supposed to do that.
Seducius, where are you trying to do thunderclap?
I want to.
Yeah, the name
I
of
want
that.
to make that a meme now.
Yeah.
I wanna do it against H1. So I just want to move to a spot where I'm not gonna hopefully hurt anyone. If that's possible, I feel like I'm gonna hurt.
No, I think you could, because it's only a 5-foot range. It's like basically a 5-foot like circle around you. So with your movement, you could move. You could move like right behind her.
Yeah.
That would be like your max movement, and then you could do it, and it would only hit her.
Yeah. I'm totally down with that.
Okay, so she needs to do a Constitution.
Thunderclap, go.
Thunderclap, go! Oh, she rolled a natural 20.
Hit him with it.
So she takes no damage as you like run over there, and but it does kind of rattle everyone else's ears a little bit, and they're all a little bit more aware. That was your movement and your action. Any bonus actions you have that you want to do?
Not at this time.
Okay. So that's gonna bring us to Zendri now. It is your turn. What would you like to do, my friend?
Am I too close for a crossbow?
No, not to H1. You're still like 10 feet off. Basically, as long as you're not like right next to an enemy, you'll be okay.
I'll hit him with my crossbow.
All right. So roll to hit.
Oops. Ooh, 20!
Nice. Okay. So on that crossbow, you're gonna get max damage plus another dice roll. So Zendri, max damage on that crossbow is a D8. So immediately it does 8. Now you roll a D8 again, and we're gonna add those two numbers together.
You said roll a... Which one?
A D8.
And then add it to what?
Just to 8, because you're gonna get max as well. You basically double on a
I
critical.
rolled a 2.
Nice. So 10 points of damage to this thing. And that was a pretty big hit. The harpy in front of you is still standing. She doesn't seem like completely shaken or anything, but it was a pretty decent amount of her. Like you see some blood spurt out, and it was pretty gnarly. That's gonna bring us to the other harpy though, who kind of you see flying over, kind of up in this cliff face and kind of landing on the plateau, kind of coming towards you. She's just gonna beeline as far as she can, and that's gonna head right towards Torin. And she's just gonna take a couple of swipes at Torin with her one with her claws, and then she's got a club in the other hand. So the first one misses. Second one,
I mean, bro.
what's the hit on the club? Actually, they both miss. So like as she's flying, she's a little more hurried to get up there and just attack you, and not as focused. And you just see two kind of like empty swipes at you. But she does miss on both of those. Sless, it is your go. You are just catching up with the party as you kind of made a hard ride to kind of figure out where they were, discovering that they kind of headed in here. You swear on the way you saw a crab give you like a little like nod, which is the weirdest thing you've seen. But you've headed up this causeway, just noting that your party's up there, kind of your move where you'd like to go. You do have to run up this area. To get all the way to the top, it would probably take you 2 or 3 turns, just a heads up.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty much all I can do, right? Till I catch up.
If you get here, yeah, they're not like because they're up as well. They're not really
Right.
in range to like cast a spell or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just do that.
Okay, Torin, that gets us to your turn then, sir.
All right. Let's do. I'm gonna do my my breathe weapon
Sure.
on H2. How many is that? I want to try it out.
Yeah, go for it. So your breath weapon is basically like your dragon ability, right? Like you think dragons blow fire and stuff. In this case, because you're a blue dragon, you actually will shoot out a line of lightning. So that's a roll for me. Looks like I got to beat 11. She does not beat 11. So go ahead and roll 2d6.
D6. Oh shit. Is that regular dice?
Mhm.
I have 2 regular real dice. All right, that's 7.
7 points of damage. Nice. So 7 points of damage. You see her like she kind of stutters a little bit as this like taser goes off basically at her body, but she's able to shake it off and kind of still face you. Do you want to just check one quick thing? Yeah, 7 points of damage. Awesome. So that'll bring us back to the top, which then takes us back to Flux. Your turn.
All right, guys, let's smash it, bro.
Alright, I'm gonna try. I think I'm just gonna try to attack with my rapier.
Okay.
So.
And she still has Hunter's Mark, so don't forget that Hunter's Mark damage
Oh,
as well.
sick. Alright, cool. Oh, wait, I thought that missed. Oh, no.
Well, Hunter's Mark stays on, but the first attack missed.
Gotcha. Alright. So that's D20, yeah?
D20 to hit.
13.
That does hit. So go ahead and roll your damage now.
Yes.
6.
6,
Total.
nice. Okay, 6 points of damage to Harpy 1.
Oh.
And that's for H1, yeah?
Yep.
Obviously, it's.
And so you said you did 6, and then did you add your Hunter's Mark damage as well?
How'd you get out?
Which is another d6.
Shit. Okay.
I'm following them.
5.
Nice. Okay. So like a nice couple like big deep stab with the rapiers. You kind of like stab it right in to her. She's looking pretty tough, and she's still able to kind of fly, but you see her wings beating just a little bit slower as she's taking some damage. Really, this one's now super upset that her luring song hasn't really been able to charm any of her victims that are in this area. So she's just going to take it out on you as you're kind of the biggest target in front of her. And she's going to take a swipe with her claws and a swipe with her club. First one, what's your armor class again, Flux? 18?
18.
The bad guys? The bad guy?
First one's going to miss.
Who's the bad guy?
Oh, natural 1, so she misses on both of these two. These harpies are not doing much. Seducius, your turn, sir.
Hey. All right. I'm gonna do. I want to use dissonant whispers on each one to try and kill this thing, so I can target it right at each one.
Sure.
Are you all trying?
So I'm gonna whisper a little melody. And the cool thing about my name is that it can heal, but also kill. So I'm gonna whisper my name to this little harp and be like, Seducius, Echo. It's gonna echo in her head. All she can think about is my name.
Got it. She seems strangely aroused. It's very weird, but at the same time, it's painful. Which is very Seducious if you
What I
think
go for it.
Starting roll of 20.
Okay, D13. Let's see how this goes. Oh, she does fail. Go ahead and roll 3d6 damage.
Wow! Let's go!
Let's go!
Harpy. And then what do I add to it again?
Nothing on that one.
Nothing. Okay, so 9.
9? Nice.
Yeah, it's 9.
Okay, so she takes 9 points of damage, and now she's really starting to struggle to keep aloft. You see her eyes kind of shift, and she's looking for an escape route at this point. Which will bring us to Zendri. It's your turn.
It's my turn! Also, P.S. for later, you spelled my name wrong.
I did, I know.
I was like, where am I? And then I'm like, oh wait, it's a Z.
I know. Every time I try to change it, it doesn't save here, so I gotta fix it.
I spell it.
With an X.
With an X.
Oh, like Xena Warrior Princess?
Yeah.
Lawless, what's up?
Yeah. Xena and Hercules were my jam.
You
yeah,
spells to use. You've got your mace. Got a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say my mace.
Yeah. Who are you gonna bring it down on? H1 or H2?
Oh wow, I'm kind of like right in the middle of both of them.
H1 is looking pretty weakened,
Yeah,
and
that's the one that I hit really bad. Then yeah, I'm gonna go for H1.
Okay, so we're gonna go over that way. Go ahead, and now you're gonna roll to hit. Remember, your hit roll is a D20 plus that hit bonus column.
And give him nothing, I guess. Or that he can see. Give him nothing.
Let's go back. Hit bonus plus 4, 19.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage now. And that's the damage column. You can see it.
Which dice is that?
It tells you in that damage column.
Oh. 7.
So 7 points damage. Nice. So you take a nice big thwack on this thing, and she, like this bird creature, is like dazed now. She's a little too weak to get away, but she's not quite dead yet.
Dang.
That's gonna bring us to the next harpy, who's now also in this. I want to just check one quick thing. Yes, so this one now, seeing that her sister is very badly damaged and not feeling very good. You hear a similar song. It's a different one now that this one's singing. The tune seems a little different, but it's just as haunting and just as scary. I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw one more time.
24.
Nice. So you're good.
Yeah. Got 7.
Okay.
16.
16, okay.
Wisdom. 13.
You need me to roll this too?
Yes, I need, yep, you as well.
And what is it I'm rolling?
A wisdom saving throw.
So a d20 plus the wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
16.
Okay, so the only one who seems affected by this is Seducius. This haunting, just like luring melody starts to come out. Seducius, you will not be able to do anything except move closer to H2 on your next turn, just so you know. But that's going to end her turn. Sless, it is now your turn. You're still kind of down the hill. You could probably make it to the top, like right to the top of the plateau.
Okay. And then if I do that, can I... Well, I'm probably too far away to attack, right? Well, I guess I do have some stuff.
You could hit H2, you can hit H1. You're in range of like some of your spells.
Okay. H1's almost dead, isn't it?
H1's almost dead, yep. One
Okay.
little nick will probably push it off.
Then let me... Oh, gosh. Alright. Then let me do a firebolt then.
Sure. I think that's...
Well, is that going to hurt everybody that's around her, though, or no?
Firebolt is single target.
Okay. Then yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll to hit. One thing, I want to just double check something, because I think you chose a certain ability, and I just want to make sure you're aware of. Did you choose twinning? Where's your meta magic features? Spellcasting meta. Yeah, so here's just something to note. So you have these things called sorcery points. That's what you kind of chose when you became level 3. And you can do what's called a twin spell. So if you have a spell that targets one creature, you can spend sorcery points, and in this case 1, because it's a cantrip, to make that spell that attacks one creature attack 2 creatures.
Oh, okay.
So you can use a sorcery point basically to make Firebolt attack H1 and H2.
How many sorcery points do I have?
You have 3 that you use between each short rest.
Okay, sure, let's do it.
Okay, so tick off one of those and then roll Firebolt, and you're just gonna roll it once because it's a twin spell, so the same hit.
Yeah, I rolled a 14.
That does hit both. So go ahead and roll your damage now.
Is it this one right here? That's a 10?
You should have a 0 on the top.
Okay, yeah. 5.
5, nice. Okay, so as you kind of like push out your arms to cast this Firebolt, you kind of like imbue that special little sorcery to it, that little extra draconic umph that you have, and it kind of actually forks in 2 directions. One goes for H1 and just obliterates her. The fire just kind of like melts through her chest and comes out the back. A little bit of singeing to Seducius on the other end there. And then the other one kind of loops back around and goes right towards the second harpy. Not as heavily hit. She's still standing, still pretty tough. Little extra damage doesn't hurt anyone, you think to yourself, which will bring us now to Torin. So yeah, just keep an eye on your sorcery points and like what you can do with them, because that's like one of the real cool things of being a sorcerer, is that you can change your spells a little bit. So.
Yeah. Where do I have to mark that off anywhere? Or where
If you go to your features and traits and you scroll down, you'll see meta magic, and there's sorcery points there.
Features and traits? I don't see that.
If you look in your actions area, then actions, spells, equipment. Actually, it's right on the actions page. I didn't see that. So if you look at the actions page and like near the
there
bottom,
it is. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you want to see more of what those things do, though, go to features and traits in that list, and then you'll see them all in there.
Okay.
It's a class feature for you that you chose.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see features and traits. Okay. Cool.
But Torin, that brings us to your turn, sir.
All right. Let's Let's attack H2. Can I use that same attack? Do I have like limits on those?
Yeah, breath weapon you can only use once per short rest, so that's gone
Okay.
until you
That's gone. Okay.
release it out for a bit.
I'll just use my melee weapon then.
Cool. So roll to hit with your scimitar.
That's a freaking 6, so 9.
That misses.
What?
That'll bring us back to
Stronger.
Flux. Unless you'd like to do anything else.
Person's strong over here. Terrible. The highest damage I could do with that.
Wait,
I should have.
hold on. Trent, say that again.
Isn't it the highest damage I can do with that weapon?
Yeah, well, did you roll to hit first, though? Your d20 plus 5.
Oh, I did it. I rolled a regular freaking dice, dude.
So keep the damage dice. See if you hit first.
Oh, okay. I did. So okay. So I rolled a. If I rolled a d20 again, so I rolled a 7 plus
Okay.
5, so 12.
That does hit. Okay, how much damage did you
Okay. And then, so that's the second die, or technically my first dice.
Well, what did you roll last time? We'll just keep the same roll.
Okay, that was a 6 plus 3. It looks like,
Nice.
so it'd be 9. Yeah.
9. Awesome. Yeah. So that was a pretty big hit. Now she kind of stutters a little bit as she kind of like
Sorry,
hovers down. Yeah, you got to remember when you're doing with the melee, it's 2 hits.
2 hits.
First,
Okay.
D20 to see if you hit, and then damage after.
And then the other one. Okay. Cool.
Flux, though, your turn again.
Alright. I'm going to produce flame
Nice.
and attack H2.
Does produce
Ah.
flame? Let me just check something.
Wait, am I close enough for that?
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to walk up there, but you could
Okay.
if you want to
let's
move
do
like
it.
over there first.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Where does the flame come out of you?
My hands.
Little fart. Shard.
Just start.
So you still gotta roll a melee attack. So you're gonna roll a d20 plus 3.
17
As you lift your
total,
leg.
y'all.
17. What was your roll? 17. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. It's 1d8. 2. Okay, 2 points. Not quite as aggressive as it sounded. It sounded like it was gonna do more, but it just was a little vapid.
There's just a little fart in the wind.
Just
Story of your life.
you felt it. Like, it felt like there was a lot. Just like bottled up, you know? You ever had one of those? We're like, this is gonna be the world's biggest one, and I have to wait until like I'm alone before I let it go. And then you step away, and it's just like, and you're like, I waited 30 minutes for that. Seducius, though, it is your turn. H2
I
is
don't
still
concern, I'm
singing,
only-
and
Yeah.
all you can do is move close to her. She has you charmed.
I cannot.
You are allured and aroused.
Oh,
Sounds
taste
like
your own
my
medicine.
last relationship started.
Jesus.
I want to just check one quick thing on that, though. Let me just triple check something. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
No.
So, Zendri, it's your turn.
All right. So can I move closer in my turn?
Yeah, absolutely. You can move in, like, so you basically get 30 feet of movement, which is 6 blocks. And you can use that in chunks. You can do it all at once. You can move however you want. So if you want to like move, attack, and move again. If you want to move as far as you can and then attack. If you want to attack and then move, like you can do it in whichever order.
Well, I think considering what I have left to use, I do have to get closer. What is an unarmed strike?
That's basically like just punching something. As a tabaxi, like a cat person, you can choose to use your claws. Technically, your mace would do more damage, as could possibly your crossbow. So like, I wouldn't use
So I
that
can still
unless you
use
have to.
those?
Oh yeah. It's just a weapon in your hand. It doesn't like disappear as soon as you swing with it.
Oh, okay. Well then,
It's the spells that you have limited use of, basically.
got you.
Or things that have ammunition, like crossbows. Like you've been using some bolts. If those all ran out, you couldn't use it again.
All right, I'm gonna use my crossbow again.
Okay. Roll to hit with it.
See what we got. Not much. 6.
That misses.
Blech. Boo.
So that's going to bring us back to the harpy. Kind of sensing this is not a good situation to be in, seeing her sister not so great, she's just going to use her action to disengage and not attack, and she's just going to fly off as far as she can go for this turn. It puts her about there, and she's hovering just off of the edge of the cliff, which is not going to be great in a moment. Celeste, though, it is your turn. She's still in range, if a little bit further away from you.
Yeah, because I'm gonna freaking jump off a cliff for another woman. Story of my life.
All right, we'll get it right now. Let me see here. I am gonna use. How far away? Yeah, I'm gonna use ice knife.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll to hit with it.
I didn't bring my phone over here. Hang on. Oh, my iPad fell. Maybe I did. Oh, I guess I did bring my phone over here. Hang on. I have a fan with me right now.
He seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Who's this?
I rolled a 17.
17 hits.
So
go ahead and do your damage with your ice knife now.
yeah, which is D10. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so she takes 5 points of damage as this like icicle shoots out from you. And as it like pierces her, as expected, because you know this is what the spell does, it like hits her and then just explodes as well. So she's gonna take a little extra damage off of that as well. Let's see if she can like avoid it. She does not. So she's gonna take 2 more d6 damage. So roll 2d6 now as well.
Roll 2 d6s. 7 total.
7 total. Perfect. So total 7 and 50. So that's what, 12 points of damage total. So pretty big hit to her. She's still kind of flying if she's struggling a little bit, but she hasn't collapsed just yet. That does bring us to Torin, your turn.
All right.
She's pretty good ways off the edge of the cliff from you. Don't know if you have anything with range.
I don't think I can get her. And I was trying to see if there's like an animal that can fly, but I can't. I don't see any that can fly.
Yeah, right now at your level, you can't shapeshift into an animal that can fly. That takes a little
Okay. Okay.
You can still move.
I guess. Can I just move then? Because I don't think anything can reach technically.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything that could.
Okay. Can I move like closer to the edge? Like, I don't know, by like the little.
You want to get like here?
Like 4 squares down or 3, whatever. Yeah, I don't know how far I can run at a time. Yeah, let's go there.
You can move 6 blocks, so 30 feet, which is 6 squares.
Okay. All right, we'll hang out there and see.
Cool. Flux, that brings us back to your turn.
Okay.
Gonna need to do something fast before Seducius jumps to his death.
Okay. I think I'm gonna.
Same crazy girls as usual, Flux.
I got you. Don't worry. Apparently, that's my lot in life. I'll save you from this crazy hoe one more time. Again. I think I'll attack with my rapier.
You can't.
Wait, what?
She's flying off the edge of the cliff. You know
Don't
that,
do it.
that dumb like uplifting meme of like the dog chasing the bird up the hill? That's basically what you would be doing.
Sick. All right. So I'm casting spells.
Yes, probably
I'm
smart.
casting spells like a motherfucker. All right. Let's see. Let's do. Let me see. I wonder if. Burning hands.
It's a 15 foot. Yeah, you can probably just get her if you move to the far edge.
All right. Let's try it.
Okay. So burning hands. DC 11.
Man,
She
she's
succeeds.
jumping off the edge too.
So is it half damage? Still roll 3d6. She's gonna take half damage.
Okay. D6 3 times.
Yeah, while you're doing that, that's kind of why I like doing it in the chat if you can get your characters
Right.
uploaded, because then you can just do something like you can actually type in like cast. I'm just gonna give you an example.
13.
13 total.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what did you roll? It was a high roll.
I rolled not very well, but
13 by half. I mean, that's more than enough. She only has like 2 health points left. So as this like fire gouts out of your hands, it just like encompasses her. You don't see the harpy for a bit, and then the flame kind of subsides, and you still don't see the harpy, but you do see her like corpse as you kind of look down. Finally, she's just like spiraling down the cliff now, dead. Caduceus kind of shakes himself off.
you're welcome.
What just happened?
Hit him with it.
I need Torin and words, Nate. Jesus. Torin and Flux. Since you're down on that edge, though, I need you to roll perception checks for me.
Okay.
Okay.
How come Torn wasn't able to attack instead of just moving earlier?
Torin did not. I don't think he had anything that gave him range that far out.
Yeah, I had no range attacks.
Oh,
I might be wrong. I didn't look at your spell
cool.
list, so sorry if I missed something.
No, I checked. It's like 5 feet or something.
oh.
I guess you could have done Thunder Wave, but that. Yeah, that actually would have worked. Sorry, I missed that one.
Thunder Wave? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cube around you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's kind of like Thunderclap's bigger cousin.
Got it.
Oh.
So does that one hurt people too?
Yeah, everything basically hurts people if it's in that area. Sorcerers have an ability to like bend their magic around others at a certain level, but not y'all.
Okay.
I wonder if Helga knows that that's Caduceus' bigger cousin.
They might learn that later. What are your perception checks, by the way?
I got 20
Okay.
total.
20. Okay.
Don't take Helga off my hands. Gone too far.
And then Torin, what'd you get on your perception check?
Perception, I was 9.
9. Okay, so Torin, sorry, Flux, I totally spaced. What did you get?
20.
20. Yeah. So you notice that the harpy was kind of heading towards a certain area, towards the south of this space. And as you look over there, you don't see anything moving, but you do see what can really only be described as like the side, like the edge of a really, really big bird's nest. And that was like, you just see like the edges of it, like here-ish. Like around that wall.
Hmm.
And it seemed like that's where the harpy was going.
Okay.
Go for that shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to Torin, and can everybody hear me or just Torin? Am I in earshot with everybody?
I mean, if you spoke loud enough, there's nothing really blocking this area. The furthest person's away maybe like 40 feet.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think we should head over this way because she was heading that way. I just want to check out what else she might have over that way if you guys are cool with it.
Sounds good to me.
Let's go.
Keep rocking it.
So as you kind of look around the space above you and like around these craggy rocks, there's no way really to go. Like you can't quite go this way. This is just all cliff face. And the rest is just like a big, huge stone wall, part of that lighthouse structure. The only place that you can really see to go is it does seem to be a door leading into the structure here.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a structure.
Yes, sorry.
I thought it
Just
was
a lighthouse.
Yeah, I explained
Oh,
it
I
to
guess-
everyone else in the last mission. I forgot to do it to you. It's
Okay,
basically this
I was gonna
giant
say-
stone building.
I thought it was like
leading-
stuff we just didn't see yet.
Well, you don't see inside of it, so think of it like a stone building, but it's like
Yeah.
you can't see into the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sounds
guess
like
we-
we should go to the door.
Oh, let's go check it out.
Bust it
Get in
open.
there.
So the door swings open pretty easily. It's not locked or anything. As you open the door, you see this like 15-foot high room. It's empty. There doesn't seem to be anything in it. There are dirty windows kind of into the south wall, and there are two like ship's masts, like jutting, like you can kind of see them through the window, and you see two ships kind of like just their tops through the window that crash on the rocks. But it's otherwise just an empty foyer. Let me open it up for you so you can see it. Just an empty space in here. You do see a door that does lead south, kind of where that big bird's nest was. But for the most part in front of you, you see a couple of different ways to go.
I think we should go south towards the bird's nest through that door.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's
You
do
guys down?
a look around check or perception check or something.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Everybody?
Yeah, whoever's in this area. If you guys all went in the building, I assume you did.
No, I only got 2 total.
Yeah, I got 8.
Yeah, the place does look empty. Again, the things that you see in front of you, there is a big double door, kind of leading into what looks to be maybe a staircase because it's kind of rounded off. Could be a room, it's hard to say. And then another smaller door leading south. So you have one door kind of to your northwest, and then one door directly to your south. And then the windows along the south wall that lead out into the ocean, and you do see like shipwrecks up that way.
I think I want to continue south, and I want to check out that nest thing. She was heading back there, so there's got to be something over there that she's trying to protect. Maybe it's valuable.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of walk down into that area. The door again opens pretty easily for you. Let me get it spaced open for you. Burp, burp, burp. So you basically see all of this now as you walk into this room. And in this space, you see. You see, like again, 15-foot high rooms with like the ceilings that are kind of flat. The walls are adorned with like these frescoes that depict ships like being tossed around on stormy seas, with this dark and looming god figure above them, kind of laughing and smiling, kind of inset into the storm area. In the western wall is a dirty, salt-encrusted window. A stone altar with lightning bolts carved into it stands against the south wall. A metal rod descends from the ceiling above, right above the altar. It's splitting in two before it embeds itself into the stone. So it kind of like shoots down and then forks into two places into the altar.
Okay. And that door at the very, very, very south, can we go in? Well, can we go into this door and then go out through this back door down here?
Yes, I want to just check one quick thing, and then I'll let you know. Does it open? Yeah. So you can. The door opens up. You can go right out that way if you wanted to.
Yeah. You guys down?
Yeah, I'll follow you.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Are you opening it kind of sneakily, or are you just like rushing out?
Slowly.
Okay,
Just
so
in case there's more harpies out there.
roll a stealth check for me.
Dope. I got 10 total.
10. So you kind of open the door. You're trying to be kind of sneaky. but like the door maybe passes like an inch or two, and then it just makes a like really loud grinding, just like as it opens up. And as you like just open the door and hear the noise, almost all at the same time, you see 3 more harpy faces just turn
Oh.
around and go. And I need everyone to roll initiative again.
Roll a what?
Roll initiative again.
Shit.
18.
I got 17.
Hey.
4.
Yeah. Which kind of roll was this? A what?
Initiative.
Oh, initiative.
Yeah, we're back in
17.
combat because someone opened
Yeah.
the door not so sneakily.
Yeah. 4.
It's a lot.
We were trying to do this easily.
Hey,
Torin, what'd you
I
get?
tried.
Torin, what'd you get on your initiative?
4.
4. Okay, and then Zendri?
17.
Let me just see while I'm here if I can fix this. Edit. But actually, let me fix it now. Yay! Okay. All right. So let's start. All right. First up is actually going to be one of the harpies. This one's actually going to be further down this way.
Oh, dang.
Wait, so
Uh,
then is the door like fully open, or is it still open, just a crack?
It's open, just a crack. But it is the first harpy's turn. She's gonna just get in there and try to push that door open. I would like you to actually roll an athletics check. She's gonna see if she can kind of wrestle it away from you.
Okay, so that's a d20 plus my athletic. Okay. 17.
Okay, so you are able to hang on to the door as she's there. But she's gonna start singing as she sees you kind of on the other side. Now I need everyone in that space to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Kobe.
R.I.P., bruh.
R.I.P.
Too soon.
Oh, 20.
17.
I got 18 total.
11. Double bread.
I always get these low ass like rolls when this happens. I got a 5.
It's always just can't say no to it. Torin, you said you got an 11?
I can't say
Yeah.
Just enough. All right. So, Seducius, once again hearing the song and already kind of weakened by the first one, you see him start to go rigid and then just like immediately start to take a step.
Oh.
You don't let go of the door though, and you shove it backwards. Are you shoving it closed? Or you trying to push it open? Actually, I should ask just so I know.
I think we should try to close it because I'm not trying to mess with these harpies anymore.
So it is your turn. She's still got the door. I want you to do another athletics check to see if you can shut it closed.
Tight. I got 12.
12. She rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
The door is open. There is a harpy out there. It goes
Yeah.
through. Zendri, it is your turn now. Oh, actually, if you want to do a bonus action or anything else if the door is open, I'll
You
give you
should
a
say
bonus action.
Vendry.
What am I gonna do, y'all?
Start smashing.
Hulk smash that shit.
Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the good news is that if she's right at the door, even if it gets to one of the other harpies' turns, they're not gonna be able to attack through her.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I'm
it would
gonna-
be tough for her to like get around.
yeah, so go for it.
I'm gonna hit her with my mace.
Okay, so you're gonna get her
Yeah.
close. So here's kind of the challenge. That's a pretty small door. You probably can't hit her with your mace.
Really? You think?
Yeah, because like it's basically like in this doorway is Flux and this harpy, kind of fighting over the door. You do have some spells that you can range though. So as an example, you have Sacred Flame. You also have some other options. You could try Command. That might be kind of interesting here. But either of those might be choices.
But if I do the flame, am I gonna hurt who's in front of me?
Sacred Flame just targets the creature you choose. like your divine
All right.
ability shoving out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Sacred Flame.
Okay, so that's a me roll, so we got to try to beat 12 on her end. She got 12 exactly, so that will do no damage to her.
Great.
Seducius, though, it is your turn. You are charmed. You just
As
want to
usual.
get there. So
I
you're
mean,
gonna use that turn to get here. Are you gonna? It's kind of up to you. What do you think Seducius would do? Would he push past Flux? Would he just kind of stay at the door?
no, since he's being charmed, would definitely gonna push past Flux.
Okay, I need you to roll a.
No.
Let's roll an
That's
athletics check.
A what?
An athletics check.
0. Pick a weights up and put them back down. No count, dude.
Wait,
Bro.
what do I add to that? What do I add to that?
Your athletics.
Oh, got it. Yeah, in front of me.
Starts with a
9.
9.
9.
Not enough. So Flux is able to hold the doorway at least, and no one's getting past her for now. That will bring us back to one of the other harpies, though, seeing this. And she's just going to, I think for right now, seeing that the doorway's kind of blocked, she's just going to kind of take a temporary position on the other side of the doorway. I think that's all for now.
Oh man.
She doesn't have any range yet. No. Okay, so that'll bring us to Celeste. It's your turn. I will say with that many people inside the doorway and you kind of being in the back, you can try and do an attack, but I'm going to just say that the other team members have, that the Harpy has 3/4 cover, so it's just going to make her harder to hit if you want to try to do a range spell.
Could I cast my web spell and kind of like just like shut that doorway there so it gives us a chance to get out of there?
Oh, you want to like hit the doorway and kind of like stop it?
Yeah.
Or at least slow it down? Sure.
Because it says the webs are difficult terrain and lightly obscure the area.
Yeah, and it could restrain creatures that are in it.
Yeah.
So,
I was just thinking that give us a chance to get away.
So the only thing is, I just want to see, the range is 60 feet. You want to hit that doorway. I'll say to try to get past everyone else without doing it. Just roll a straight d20 and add 3 to it.
15.
Yeah, you should be able to make that. Okay, cool. So where do you want the webs to go exactly? Because it's a 20-foot circle of webbing. Or cube of webbing.
Really, we just wanted to cover up that doorway.
Okay.
But does it have to spread out 20 feet?
It does.
Okay, so I guess can we kind of make it like wrap around the corner there?
Sure. Yeah, I'll say because you have a straight shot here, and your range is 60 feet. I mean, if it's 20 feet and you want to get that doorway, your best bet is to kind of aim like there in the center.
Oh, is it going to be on the outside of the doorway?
Yeah, if you put it on the inside, then all of your teammates get restrained.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to do
It'll
that.
hit the doorway, so it'll still get the creatures you want. So you see that kind of bigger green square?
Yeah.
That's the space of the webs. So it shops at the doorway, goes back enough. H4 and H5 are possibly restrained. Let's find out. So Dex 13 on their ends. Nope. Yes. Okay, so H4 is restrained and stuck in the door. H5 is not and still hovering and kind of flying above where the webs landed.
Okay.
Torin, it's your turn.
Alright, I am...
So are we able to leave now? Or are we still in this battle?
You could try. I mean, you're inside. The door is still open. So.
Oh, okay.
And while the webs are there and like hard to get through,
you
guys haven't barricaded or blocked the doorway yet.
Yeah. It does say that the webs are flammable, so I don't know if you have any fire spells or anything.
I do.
I do not. No, I have water stuff. I can create water. I don't know if that would help in this scenario. Incoming energy listing effects.
Some interesting things that you can do, Torrent. So remember, you can turn into a spider. Spiders don't get stuck by webs. They can actually get around them pretty easily.
Let's go, baby.
So if you wanted to get in there and just like try to mop like an attack, you could. If you want to try to run, I might suggest trying to find something to block the door with or close it.
Yeah, here. How about I was seeing a new spider that was looking pretty dope, actually. See where it's at real quick. Alright, I'm gonna turn into a giant wolf spider. How's that sound, yo?
I'm Chance on this part. Jesus Christ.
I'm coming in hot.
And then what do
You
you want
also
to do
have
as a
babies on
spider?
your back?
I am gonna do. Let's do. Maybe I'll do the spider climb and I'll get like above, like right at the doorway.
Spider climb is just an ability, so like you can move there and still attack if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like move like above them and then attack.
Sure. How do you want to attack it? With your bite?
Yeah, I'll do the bite.
Okay. Roll to hit. That's your d20 plus 5 in this case.
All right, that's a 15 plus 5, so 20.
20, nice. That definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage, or if you want to take the average on this case, it's 7.
I'll roll.
Go ahead.
Go for funsies. Ooh, I rolled a 6, so let's go, baby.
Okay, 6.
6 plus 1.
6 plus 3.
Right? Oh, plus 3, yeah. Okay, so 9.
9, nice. Okay, so 9 points of damage to this thing, and then we're going to see if she gets poisoned as well. she rolled a 4. She does. So she's going to take 2d8 more damage, or if you want to take the 9, you can.
What are you laughing at?
Like full ass Peter Parker life right now.
That's right, baby. I think it's Spider-Man right now. Homecoming coming in hot.
Let's go.
All right, I got 2d plus 3, right? So 11.
11, nice. Okay. So that was 9, 20 points of damage. Damn, that spider is vicious. So
Yeah.
20 points of damage to H4, who's still stuck in these webs. That was a pretty big hit. After this, she's definitely concerned and feeling pretty brutalized.
Let's go. Let's go, everyone. Kill them all. I don't know what voice I should start using him.
Oh, Trent, you're giving me so much life right now.
You have to pee really bad, too.
You over there like
So that'll end your turn then, Torin?
Alright, perfect. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, way to use those abilities, man.
Thanks.
I dig it.
Yeah, thanks for.
So H3 kind of having an area above the cliff. She's gonna do a similar approach and just kind of hold her ground, but she's gonna move over here, and she's also gonna cast that song. So I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw again.
Uh-oh. I got 2.
Okay.
Dang.
20.
20? Okay.
Yes.
I got
17.
19.
Sick.
Alright.
Getting your confidence back.
So, well, it doesn't really matter. So she's still charmed by the other one. But Flux now also
I
feels
can
that same
by
pull
more than one at the same time.
as the door holder and is going to try to make is basically incapacitated. She's just lulled by this sound, this siren song, and is going to start moving towards as close as she can to the other ones as well. But that's gonna bring us to the first harpy who's stuck in here. Just want to check one quick thing on web and see what her options are.
My goodness.
All right, let's see if she can break out. Strength check. 13. 9. What's her strength bonus for a harpy? No. Okay, so she's still stuck and restrained in there, so she'll just try and take a swipe at Flux, who's in front of her, with her claws and with her club.
Sick.
Natural 20.
Oh man.
And a 5. So the natural 20 hits, but the other one doesn't. So the first one, you are going to take 12 points of damage.
All
From
right.
that just like, as she hits you.
Sick.
I just want to see.
Jesus. Like
Yeah, no, you're still.
half
Oh, actually,
my
no, it's a
life.
different harpy. It doesn't avoid it. Can you, because you got attacked though by a different creature causing the charm, can you roll that wisdom save again and see if it knocks you out of your charm?
Okay. Oh, 19, baby.
Okay. So it was a pretty
Let's
brutal
go.
hit, and it kind of like shook the stars and the song out of your eyes, and you are no longer kind of possessed to keep walking through, but you did suffer quite a bit of damage, and you're bleeding quite a bit. But
Oh
that'll bring us back
no.
to you, Flux. It is your turn. You're holding the door. You have Torin as a giant spider above you. Seducius basically trying to like get his way past you, and this bitch
And
harpy
I'm
in front
still
of
at
you.
13 damage because homegirl like
Correct.
took a hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What can I do? Oh.
What happens if you die?
You die.
Like you're just done? That's it?
I mean, basically you reroll a new character unless someone can somehow revive you. At this level, I don't think anyone has a resurrection ability. So, it'd be time to reroll. We did almost kill someone last game. It was pretty bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they asked that same question.
What can I?
Deal with death.
I feel like I can't attack with a weapon. I feel like it's more. This is like spell time.
Kind of up to you.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I would say spell because I think you
Yeah.
need to kill that thing.
Yeah, I know. Shit.
I mean, if you're a paladin, typically you're like 1-2 punches. You cast a smite.
Yeah.
And you just go ham with your weapon.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cast a Wrath Smite.
Okay.
And then I'll try to attack with my rapier.
Okay. So you kind of cast Wrestle Smite on there. Go ahead and see if you hit with your rapier now.
Yeah. Light that stuff on fire.
Oh yeah, dude, I could totally oh. My hit 13 with the rapier.
13 with rapier, that does hit. So go ahead and roll your damage first from the rapier. This is 1d8 plus 2. And then we're going to do Wrathful Smite when that's done.
8 total.
Okay, nice.
For my rapier.
Okay, and then your Wrathful Smite does
1d6.
1d6. And then I'm going to see if she's frightened on you because of that.
It's only a 2.
Okay, still not bad. 10 points of damage. You know, at that level is not bad. Not nothing. But let's see. 12. Oh yeah, she does succeed. So as you hit, you notice that like the extra damage kind of pumps into her, and she has this look of terror and panic for just a second, but she does refocus as she's still kind of trying to sing her song and lull Seducius through you and toward her. But not bad. Pretty good hit. Pretty good hit. Zendri, that brings us to your turn now.
Can I just hit her with a crossbow?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's possible.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So you're gonna roll to hit with your crossbow.
Let's see.
Come on, big number.
I got a 22.
Okay, that definitely hits. Is that a natural 20 plus 2?
Natural 20.
Okay, so you're gonna crit. So your crossbow max damage is a D8. So you're actually gonna roll. You're gonna roll a D8, but you're gonna add it to 8. So I give you full damage when you get your criticals.
You said, okay. Wait. Like, you said roll a d8 and then add it to 8?
Yep. Roll a D8 and then plus 8.
Oh. 14.
Nice. Okay. So
Yeah.
you just kind of aim as you're like looking through, kind of right around Flux through that tiny little doorway. And you just get a little bit of her face, and you're like, "That's it, fuck it," and it just clocks her right in the middle of the eyes, and she just
Yes.
she like crumples, but she's still held by these webs just a little bit as they're kind of in the doorway. But she's dead, like dead.
She did.
Hell yeah, let's go.
My spell broken or what?
Seducius, yes, as that happens, once again you come back into alertness, and you're like,
Finally.
this happens to me one more time. But it is your turn, Seducius. What would you like to do?
Oh
Got a
my
spider boy
god.
in front of you, web door that's gonna be a little tough to get through.
Listen,
Seduce you.
he's just
Running
getting
away.
a taste of his own medicine, okay?
Trying to tighten my belt and get back in the game over here.
Okay, here we go. Good luck.
And remember that whole green area in front of you is all webbing, so trying to get through that's gonna be tough, and you might get stuck.
I mean, and I'm basically behind the wall. I can't really do anything.
Correct. You can basically walk past Flux. I'll allow that because she's your ally. But you can't like stand on top of her. You'd have to like walk in or out in this case, and that would mean into the webbing and out where the harpies are.
How many harpies are left? Just 2?
And then
Yeah.
Remind me who was like badly damaged. Was that you, Celeste?
No, it's Flux.
No Flux.
I mean, I feel like in that case, let me.
You have healing ability?
Yeah, can I just do healing word on Flux then?
Sure.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I want to do.
Okay, so you cast Healing Word. Make sure you're checking off your spell slots. Are you doing first level or second level, just so I know?
The Flux, I'll do second level.
Okay. So just make sure you're monitoring your spell slots, which ones you're using, and then Flux, you're gonna get. Go ahead and roll then 2d4 plus 3 for Flux's health pack.
Hey, when I did the Sacred Flame earlier, do I need to check that off, or is that different?
You do not for Sacred Flame because it's a cantrip. It doesn't use any spell slots. It's like a lower level spell, basically.
Gotcha.
So eight total.
Nice. So 8 points back to Flux. What did the song sound like, Seducius?
It's a beautiful song.
Nice.
You ready?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
You see it?
All of Seducius' songs are just his name.
Just because I'm level 3, as I progress, I'll learn different songs. At level 3,
You be able to sing at the same time, or what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. It's hard to play and sing.
So much shade. Seducius, Healing Word is considered a bonus action. So you still have an action if you want to try to get in there and attack something, or if you want to try to close the door, or that's up to you.
That's a suggestion. Let's try and close the door. Let's see if I have enough strength for that.
Well, there's nothing blocking the door anymore. The harpy that was there is killed and just kind of like hanging in the webbing. It's rather gruesome with like.
Except, isn't someone outside?
There's one right outside the door, but she's not blocking the door.
No, but on our team, is someone outside? Am I close the door and leave someone?
Torin is like right on the roof above the doorway.
Okay.
It's like a spider.
Yeah,
like
don't close that thing, dude.
you
I can
still a
like
spider?
go through the web and just start smashing kids, dude.
Yeah.
Let me through.
Yes, you can. Close it without anyone being locked out. You can continue to pursue the harpies. It's up to you. I just, whatever you want to do.
I'm distressed by the harpies. I want to
No,
close
just
the
go
damn
for it,
door.
dude. You want them. There's 2 of them. 2 blonde dreamboats for you, dude.
So if you're trying to close the door, go ahead. The door closes easily, but it's not like locked or anything.
Run.
Um,
I mean, I'm just gonna go around to the door and close it, and
the door closes a bit. As you look around the room, there's some bits and bobs you can use to kind of like try to barricade it. You see some broken crates, a couple of benches. Like this area seemed to be used as a worship space. That like square that you're on with the two dots is basically an altar, and you do see that there are two like they almost look like rods that kind of like go up like a triangle and connect to a center rod that goes up through the roof. And again, you see like the frescoes of like storms and that storm god kind of around. In fact, Seducius, roll a religion check for me. And actually, let's have the other two religious characters here do it too. So Flux and Zendri, roll a religion check for me as well, since you're both kind of a deity connected.
so I got 19.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I got 1.
One.
I got a 15.
Okay, so for Zendri and for Seducius, you do recognize that this imagery that you're seeing is actually imagery of Talos, the storm god. The god that the evil Moesco, the person who stole Moral's heart, basically worshipped. This temple here that you're inside of, the shrine, was a shrine dedicated to Talos. And there's just something like clearly this altar and this kind of weird thing in front of you must do something or must mean something important to the god of storms.
So like I want to investigate the altar more.
Okay.
See if there's anything like in it, or just like see if I can like touch anything on there.
Sure. So you like go up to the altar and you like try to look around and you kind of like touch it. I need you to roll a straight d20 for me.
Okay. 4.
4.
Seducius is off his game today.
Well, he might not be in this particular case. Where is it?
I've been charmed too much. Too much too quick.
How are the numbers decided? Are you just pre-deciding these?
So it kind of depends. In this particular case, this is an adventure that's pre-written by the folks that write Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
This stuff is based on them. Some of the other things, though, like the random bits, the off-the-cuff stuff, the RP stuff, I'm deciding that, and it's
cool.
tier-based. So like 0 to 5 is very, very easy. 5 to 10 a little bit harder. 10 to 15 is moderate. 15 to 20 is hard. 20 to 25, so it kind of scales.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put some text in chat. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in chat. It's fine if everyone sees this. We're all right. We'll all learn together. You kind of touch this thing, and you just feel this like zap of electricity just shoot through you, and your eyes actually start to sparkle just a little bit with this elemental electric energy. You have essentially what's called the charm of the storm placed upon you.
Hey.
Got a little twinkle in your eye.
Oh man.
No. Okay. That's pretty dope. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
But as that happens to you, you notice the altar kind of seems to dissipate. It just seems a little bit less, like a little bit less glowy and a little bit less impressive. It's almost like dull now.
Okay. Shit. I mean, part of me wants to like freaking try and use the spell on the harpies next time.
I mean, the harpies are still there. You haven't barricaded the door yet. There's just some webbing kind of holding it in place. It's pretty stiff. It does seem secure. Do me a favor, Seduci, since you brought that up too. Just roll a straight nature check for me.
You said danger check?
nature check. I mean, a danger check sounds great. That's my next shirt. Let's roll a danger check. I gotta write these down, actually. We're gonna write down.
Okay, I got. I rolled a 17.
Okay, so you get the sense that those harpies are not gonna come indoors unless really, really pushed. So
Okay.
you do get the sense that even if the door isn't barricaded, they'll probably not venture inside the building. But outside of the building
Okay.
is fair game. You would realize that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I feel like I'm gonna let it be with the harpies and just keep them out there unless you guys really feel compelled to go kill them.
We're gonna smash them, bro.
You gotta be
Yeah,
careful when you say that to Seducius. He's gonna think you mean something else.
Oh yeah.
You also
No.
transform back.
No, I'm still a spider, bro.
He can't
I
talk
don't
to
know.
you
I
as a
don't
spider,
wanna-
though, I don't think.
I don't want to talk to you if you're a wolf spider.
Yeah, I'm just sending you little antenna waves, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling if there were that many there, I'm wondering if there's something wild there too. I don't know.
There's only 2 left, dude.
I know. So let's just go.
It took all our might to kill the other two.
Smash them or what, Tor?
No, yeah, I'll follow you, dude. I trust the seduce, dude. If you're not gonna follow the ladies, no one's following the ladies.
Did you just call him the seduce?
Get him to the seduce, bro.
Ball is the goal. Okay.
That was so stupid.
You had to like
Love it.
shorten his
Can
I
I
just
do
made
like-
you into like a little. What are those prefix?
Can I do like a perception check? I want to like just like check out the rest of the room, make sure we don't miss anything in this room before we continue like to explore.
Yeah, roll a perception check for me. Roll at an advantage, too, because you've been in this room for a while.
Yeah, he's been cooped up.
Remind me what roll advantage.
Advantage just means roll it twice, but take the higher number.
Oh crap. 18 then.
Yeah, there's nothing else that seems noteworthy in this room. I mean, it's very, like, while it's a little bit drastic and visceral, the imagery is really well done, and the frescoes
What's happening?
are kind of beautiful. And that one's not me. I don't know who that's coming from.
What is that?
I don't know. It sounds like a children's show. But you don't notice anything else of note. Like, clearly the focal point of this room was the altar that you touched.
Okay.
It does seem to go up, and like if you look, the metal rod that kind of led down into the fork, like it doesn't seem like it ends at the ceiling. Like you kind of look and you can see a little bit of light around the edge, like it keeps going, like outwards. You see some light coming in. There's a window off to the south wall. Again, out there you can see some shipwrecks and kind of their masts kind of just jutting at crooked angles outside of the sea. But nothing else in the room seems to be particularly important.
Okay. Can we go like back up and out of this room or this other area and see what else is over there?
Yeah, for sure. So you want to kind of come back into this space?
Yeah.
Sure. So again, it's just kind of the dusty entrance. You see, again, similar windows kind of lining the south wall. There is another set of double doors, kind of to the northwest, that kind of goes into a rounded chamber.
Yeah, I want to go cautiously through those doors.
Sure. Roll a stealth check for me.
Roll a what? I'm sorry.
Stealth check, since you're trying to go kind of sneakily.
That's seduce.
Sneakily.
I was coming quietly. 17 total.
Nice. So you kind of make it in there. You kind of creak open the door. You get a pretty good look around, and it actually opens up into a empty spiral staircase that kind of goes up maybe about 20 feet or so, and looks like there's another level above you. Is everyone following, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
I'm
leaving.
following.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do kind of all go into this space, and as you now enter it, you do see a little bit more as you've kind of looked in there and seeing that it is relatively clear. There is another door kind of now going more to the northeast that seems to lead into another room from there as well.
So there's a door in the staircase that goes up.
Yeah, so there's a door on the same level, like on the ground level with you, and the staircase
Right.
that goes up.
Got it. Okay. I mean, I'll kind of leave it up to like you guys too. Like, would you rather go through the door or go up the stairs?
Because we'll just check the door right now, right?
That little baby door? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, like while we're down here, we might as well check the door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also cautiously open that door.
Okay. I just need to check one quick thing about this room then.
How many harpies are in it?
Harpy.
The queen harpy there is like one big naked harpy gonna scream at me or something.
Sounds like your typical Saturday night.
Except less alcohol.
Okay, so you open this door, and as you look inside, you open the door into a kind of a squarish chamber. It's 15 foot high room again with two windows facing northward now. In the kind of on the south wall as you go in, as you look into it, you see a very kind of terrifying sight. It's a kind of barnacle encrusted chair, and in this chair is this this like humanoid figure that is kind of wearing this like hide armor that looks like it's made out of an octopus. Like you can see some of the tentacles kind of hanging off. There's bits of like dried tentacle skin kind of overlapping each other. And in the center of his chest is a straight hole. Like you see emptiness in an empty hole. And in his lap is an opalescent conch shell. This matches the description of Moesco, the evil kind of anchorite of Talos, this Talos worshiper. And as he sees you enter the room, he definitely seems aggressive, not quite hostile yet, but he sees you enter the room and he says, "This place is not for you. You leave it once or you will be killed."
And this is the dude with the hole in his chest, so I'm clear.
Correct. He is like here. Let me just mark him for you.
Okay.
Should we turn around and go up the stairs, or should we
Right there.
Do we
I'll
talk to
stick
him?
stick our hand through his body, see what happens?
Yeah, he's got the conch shell, the thing that you're looking for Moral, in his lap.
He has the shell. He has the shell.
Let's go get it from him, then.
So, all right, how are you getting this from him?
And he doesn't seem aggressive yet, he said, right?
He seems aggressive, but he's not like ready to brawl just yet. He has demanded that you leave, or he will, though.
Can I use my web to like spit it, like throw it at him?
Yeah, sure.
Or
So I would
swipe
like,
that?
if that's the case, I'd like everyone to roll initiative for me.
15.
13.
15.
Okay, hold on.
17.
Keep those numbers. Flux, you first.
14.
And then Seducius.
Cinco.
Cinco. For a second, I was like, what? Sless?
It's five.
Sless, what'd you get?
13.
13. And then Torn.
17.
17. And then Zendri.
15.
15. Nice kind of bad rolls. 17. 15. Awesome. Okay, and let's get our friend Moesco in there. Okay, this will be an interesting one. Okay. Torin, as it turns out, you do get to go first, so if you want to cast web, you can.
do you guys think? Should I try to steal this thing from him or what?
Oh no, you committed. It's yours, yo.
Oh, all right. Let's go.
Yeah, once you go, you go. That's the rule. So you cast web. I just want to check one quick thing.
Just pick something besides the spider.
He's already a spider. What does it
Yeah,
do?
I'm still spider.
Lay an egg in the hole or something.
So roll a d20 plus 5 for me, sir.
All right, 17 total.
17. Does that hit? That hits. So that web just kind of like, it's like he's like, you should not be here, and then immediately you're like, fuck this, fire spit, and he just like gets hit a little bit. It's really kind of gross and surreal because this dude is talking to you with a huge like heart-sized hole in his chest, and like some of the web like hits him and like goes inside of his body a little bit, and goes out the other side and has restrained him to the ground. But that is your action. Would you like to do anything else? Do you want to move it a little bit closer, or?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go kind of towards the right door.
Like here?
Or wait, aren't we going? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's. Maybe a little closer to the. Is that Are those two doors in front of us, north?
No, those are windows.
Oh, windows. Okay, yeah, that's fine in the corner then.
Okay. So that will bring us then to Zendri. It is your turn.
Woo!
I went the wrong direction. Sorry.
Where am I
I'm not
at?
trying to get sniped
I
from
feel
the
like I
window.
keep losing myself.
You snuck through the window?
Yeah, dude, I don't want to get sniped, dude. Stay away from the
Zendri,
window.
you're the one with like the reddish
Long game.
auburn hair and like the green roby thing.
Broby!
Roby!
There's a party in my tummy.
If it's helpful.
Is that, like, where I'm standing, is that accurate? We're trying to go out through the other door, right?
Yeah, basically he's here, you're here.
Wait, what?
So you're here.
Right.
The enemy is up straight above you.
Okay.
in
But
a
he's
different-
outside the door.
Yeah, he's like, well, he's still inside the building, but he's in another room.
Okay.
Do you want to go in that room with him and like try to attack, or do you want to stay in the back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, where do you want to be? Like over here? Do you want to be like closer this way?
As close as possible.
Okay, so I'll put you there. If you want to make the stream bigger too, I think just double click on it, it'll pop it out for you. If it's small. And I can zoom.
Look at that! That's so much better. Okay, I can see now.
I see you like squinting, and I'm like, she hasn't enlarged. She didn't enlarge it.
I'm like, seriously, I can't. Oh my goodness.
A cheat
Okay.
code too for just like procedural stuff. You can have Discord the app open and just have the video running, and then open up a Safari browser and go to the web page for Discord and go just into the chat. So if you want them side by side, you can do that too.
Okay, guys, what should I do?
Follow your heart.
What'd you say?
Follow your heart.
That's such a.
If you're close and it works, one of like your strongest spells that you have, like damagey wise, is called Inflict Wounds, and like that one does like if it hits, it does a massive amount of damage. You also I just want to check one quick thing about my friend here.
What does it mean? So, like, I was looking at that one. What does it mean by touch?
It means you have to touch your target.
Okay. Got you.
So you basically have to like land you have to be able to grab him essentially.
All right, well, I'm not close, so we
You
might as well try.
Yeah, so let's see if that works. So you're going to roll a d20 plus 4.
Woohoo! Perfect 20! 24, baby!
Okay.
You were on it tonight.
Yeah, how's that going to... Okay, I mean, that's fucking brutal. So...
I promise it's there.
Yeah. So this is the way I do... I'm just going to keep them the same. That's 3 in a row for her. Jesus, though. So this is how I do criticals. You just roll... You immediately get max damage, and you get to roll again on top. So you're going to roll 3d10, and then... Or sorry, you're gonna take 30, and you're going to roll 3d10 and add them together.
Dang.
Okay, wait. Say that one more time. What's 3d10?
So a D10 3 times plus 30.
Do I have a 10?
It's the one that has a 0 on top.
This one?
Yes, in the middle. Yep, 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 yep.
Okay, so I rolled a 4.
Okay.
2 more
I
times.
didn't hear the rest that you said.
You're
2 more
gonna-
times?
You're gonna
Yeah,
roll it
2 more
2
times.
times total.
You just tap it, it'll like add it up.
Yeah, if you just like tap, 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 it'll give you the total on that app.
9.
9 total?
Yep.
Cool. So you just did 39 points of damage to this dude because you critted on this.
Whew.
And I just want to
Let's go.
check one quick thing with our friend here.
I'm gonna take that, please, and thank you.
Yeah, I fucking murdered this dude. I just want to check one quick thing. Is he resistant to that?
Get
at all?
wrecked.
Get wrecked. Where did he go?
Hey, what are you drinking?
Me?
Yeah.
IPA. That was my water cup. The other. I
Yeah,
think
no,
sounds
you
good.
you just like wrecked
What is
this
that?
dude. So like you touch him and you like speak a little bit to your god of like just retribution and like fucking this bastard up. And he just like you see this like blackness kind of wash over him, and it took a big chunk out of him. He does not look happy or healthy in this current moment. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
How's Flux doing? Is she completely healed?
I don't actually know.
I'm at like 21 out of 25, so I'm tight.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're pretty strong.
Is anyone else low on health?
Mm-mm.
No.
I think she was the only one that really got hit.
Destroyed it.
Okay.
This dude in front of us does need some health. He has a hole in him, and you just destroyed him.
Yeah,
So
we're not gonna help
Zendri,
him.
One quick thing to note: so you casted Inflict Wounds at first level, so just make sure you tick off a first level spell slot.
Right it. Got it.
Man, I can't even imagine
Okay.
if you did that at second level, what would have happened. That would have been.
Dang. So I would have to like claim it as second level.
Yes, you gotta tell
Or-
me what you want.
Got you.
But that's
I didn't
okay.
even realize I had this second level here.
Yeah, part of the game is just learning as you go, especially when you're new. There's a lot to it, but I feel like Craig said, if you take some time to look through what your character can do, you'll find some benefit.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll do that. I have to.
Do it tomorrow. Why not? What do you gotta go?
Okay. What do you mean? I've been doing a lot.
That'll bring us to Flux, though. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Wait.
So did we get the shell from homie?
He still has it in his possession. He's like holding it.
Oh,
as
I thought I
he's-
yoinked that from him.
And he's
He's
like
very vulnerable. Take it.
he's like dead, yeah? Or
He's
just
not
I
about-
thought
dead.
I didn't
alive.
I didn't grab that with the web, dude.
You wouldn't have the time to do both the web and that.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's pre-arranged to go for
Yeah,
it.
basically, if you think of your turn about like 6 seconds, that's about all the time you have.
Okay.
Say it. But he's pretty badly wounded, yeah?
Yeah, he got like almost brought to his like feet off that one hit. He's still
Okay.
alive and like not dead, but he's
He's
not feeling
shook.
good.
Nope.
You know, like when you get
Shook.
kicked in the nuts like real hard, it was like that.
Yes, I know exactly how that feels. It sucks. Okay, I think I'm just gonna take that shell from him.
Okay, yeah, you can go in there and try and grab it. Let's see.
I'm just
if
gonna
it puts up a
try
fight
and
on
just
it.
snatch that shit.
Do me a favor. Just roll a quick athletics check for me. See if you can get that one. Make that your action. See, we'll contest it with him.
Okay.
15 points of strength.
I got 9.
Yeah, so you try and grab it, and even as he's weakened, he's able to like tug it. He's got a better grip on it. He hasn't let that go. And now you're there next to him, looking at his face. I will say that was kind of your action. So unless you have any bonus actions, that's about it for you.
Well, I do have bonus actions. Hmm. No, I'm good. Nope. I'm alright.
So that'll bring us to Sless. It's your turn, sir.
All right. Well, I mean, are we done with this guy now?
He's no. You're
No,
in
he's
combat.
still alive. He's not
Yeah, but-
dead.
Go
Okay.
for him. Destroy him.
Finish him.
I mean, do we need to kill him?
You
Dude,
don't-
you're too nice, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you know at this point, well, you don't know anything because you didn't talk to the Banshee, so you have no idea why they're even attacking him.
Right.
He came at us first, dude. He had a hole in his heart.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll attack him.
All right, what do you want to do?
I could have got sniped through the window, dude.
He could. Oh man.
Bella. Hi, Mama. Jump. Hi.
Let's see. Well, I guess let me just. I mean, I'll just melee him with my dagger, since I'm right here.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit with your dagger.
I rolled a 5.
That does not hit. So
I didn't miss with a dagger.
Sless, you get the feeling, does not do that. Which will then bring us to the anchorite, in his turn now, as he looks at you and he goes, "You think you can kill me now, but I will just come back. Nothing can end this, but I will end you." And he kind of steps. What has he got around him? Yeah, he's got 3 people around him. So yeah, you see him kind of look up and he says, "Talos might," and he just like claps real loud. And then he really shows you what Thunderwave is about. So I need Flux,
Jesus.
Zendri, and Sless to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, a saving throw. Got it.
Roll it.
19.
20.
4.
4. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Just check. Okay, so you can't go anywhere, Flux, because you're shoved in the corner, but you do feel like this push. All of you kind of feel this push as this loud, just kind of crack happens from it, and this energy kind of seeps out from all of you. You take 11 points of damage, Flux, and then everyone else takes 6.
Dang.
Getting Flux. Nice.
I'm getting fluxed up.
Caduceus, that brings us to. Caduceus, that brings us
Yo,
to
I'm
your
at-
turn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, baby. So I'm gonna step in with that glow in my eye and try and use one of those lightning spells. I got 3 of them to use. I want to use one.
Yeah, do it. So let me give you. You want to use lightning bolt? Let me just look it up for you.
Yeah.
So you basically can make a 100-foot line that's 5 feet wide and goes in the direction that you want to shoot. And that creature takes 8d6 damage on a failed save, or half as much. So the only thing that's going to be a real struggle with lightning bolt is Sless is 1,000,000% in your way.
Oh my.
Yeah, and that wall's too close. I'm trying to think. Here's what you could do. Okay, we could do this. Here, you got some angles on this. If you walk in and go here or here, you can cast that in this direction. And it wouldn't hit.
Diagonal.
And I think you would hit just him.
And I'd rather stay a little bit further away, just given what just happened. I
Yeah.
think I'd rather do it from there.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So roll 8d6, and I'll see if he makes his save.
So 8d6.
Actually, I think I might be wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. It would hit those. It would hit the other ones. Just trying to be fair.
Yeah.
See how they lit up red? It's 5 feet
Yeah.
wide, so it would hit them.
Yeah. Would it help if I got closer then, or no?
No, because it's still gonna be 5 feet wide. All those, because it's going at an angle. It still hit them.
Okay. Okay. Well, in that case. Then I have one more slot to use another dissonant whisper, and so I'll do that, and I can target him directly.
Okay. So dissonant whisper is. Do you want to use second level on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
When I do that, does it take up both slots or just one?
No, it still only takes up one spell slot, but it either takes up a first level spell slot, which you have 4 of. You have 3 left of those.
Yeah.
Or it takes a second level spell slot, which you only have 1 left of.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So you still want to do second
Yeah.
level?
Yep. Totally.
Okay. So he did fail. He rolled a natural 1. So you're gonna roll 4d6, and he's gonna take all of that.
Yikes. That's really good.
Dope. That's some 17, baby.
Okay. So you see him kind of crumple to his knee, like one knee on the floor, still alive, but that one, he's almost not conscious anymore. You see him kind of slipping in and out. Which will bring us to Torin.
All right, I am gonna crawl and get on top of this homie, like on the
Yo,
roof.
you should go in that hole and go up to his brain and like stomp on his brain or something.
He's a giant spider, not like a little spider.
He's not lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huge, bro. But I can climb above him and then use my bite.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll to hit. See if you get him.
All right, that was a 9. Plus, is that a plus on that one too?
Yeah, I think it's. No, let me check for you.
3
Yeah, 9 plus 3.
reach. Okay. So 12.
12 does not hit actually, as he's just a little bit outside of range. As you try to throw down, he kind of is still kind of a little bit lower. Zendri,
Okay.
that brings us to your turn. Zendri, that's your turn.
My turn? Sorry, I didn't even hear you guys.
He's looking pretty bad. Maybe like one more shot at
So can I just like claw him and like get this over with already, or what?
Yeah, do it. Roll to hit. That's
Plus-
d20 plus 4 for your claws.
Plus, I need my glasses, man. 15.
That does hit, so go ahead and roll your damage. It's 1d4 plus 2 for your claws.
5.
Okay, cool. All right, so as you claw through him, you kind of like take a swipe right at its throat to just finish it, and like you see like the jugular just kind of like sloppily go through, and his vocal cords are a little exposed, so now he's a little raspy. But he looks at you and he says, "You think this is the end, but it's not. I'll come back. I always come back." And he like passes out on the ground. No, he's not breathing. Doesn't seem to be moving. He does appear dead at this point.
Is there a way that I can check,
Um,
like, to make
Yeah.
sure he's dead?
roll a medicine check.
Oh.
yo, someone take his body and throw it in the ocean.
Huh?
Take his body and throw it in the ocean.
Right? 20. Not a perfect 20.
That's okay. So his his body doesn't seem to be showing any signs of life. There's no pulse. There's no blood flow.
So can I take it?
You want to take the Yeah, you pick it up. He's not holding it any longer.
All right, it's ours. What are we gonna do?
Go back to Ghost Lady.
back to Ghost Lady.
Yeah, let's get away from these freaking harpies. Go back and find Mr. Krabs.
Do we want to check upstairs at all, or
Say-
Can
we...
we go
Yeah.
upstairs? I feel like we should
Yep.
check upstairs.
Yeah. My curiosity gets the best of me. Let's go upstairs.
So you guys start to kind of go out of the building, seemingly out of combat now, and you walk upstairs, and you do end up inside of the kind of top end of this spiral staircase that leads out into a kind of open area, and it's basically the rooftop. It's kind of like a castle rooftop. So you see, you can see from this vantage point out to sea, and there's quite a bit out there. Let me get it opened up for you so you can kind of see it a little bit more.
I'm kind of worried we just killed someone we shouldn't have.
That's why I asked earlier.
I know, like we just attacked.
He was just
You
sitting
said they'll
there.
be back, so I ain't worried. We'll figure it out later.
You can't talk anymore. We're good.
Okay, so as you kind of go through, you notice this spiral staircase does keep going up. Like there's a higher tower, but that first door it puts you out on the roof. And in this space from this vantage point, you can really see that there are just like a number of shipwrecks over there. I think there's 5 that you can kind of see, 4, excuse me, kind of over in that area on the very western portion, out in that space. As you kind of look and you look up, you can see that on top of the tower, kind of the one that you just walked out of, if you went up a little higher, the glowing green source seems to be there. And it still kind of pulses consistently.
To be clear, like, can we actually like swim or anything if we get close to the water? Like, is that part of our deal in this game?
Yeah, you could definitely swim. Swimming is a thing.
No, Seducious.
Yeah, like if you wanted to get in the water,
Together,
try to get
I
in
can
there
like
somehow.
shape that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like
Sounds
Torn
like
should
a-
like transform into a freaking shark or something and go out.
I don't know if you can get to a
I
shark,
can like mold
check.
water, but I can't. Yeah, I don't have a shark that I could find.
but I think you can at your level choose things that can swim now. So if you do want to get in there, that might not be a bad choice.
Yeah, we can follow your heart, dude.
But it's just like swimming again, like
It's like
there's-
Moana, dude.
you guys can't
Falling
breathe
in.
underwater, for example. So like you'd have to like either figure out a spell that would help you breathe underwater, or have a creature that lets you breathe underwater, or something like that, to get you down there.
Well, I don't know. I think like we don't need to really go, I guess, in the water, the shipwrecks, because Flux's little boyfriend, Mr. Krabasis, we can send him out there to get the treasure.
Yeah, he said he's gonna help us anyway. So let's take this conch shell and let's go help Ghost Lady. Like let's like get her soul to rest and shit. And then I'll put on the charm. Seducious, you gotta help me put this charm on this man, okay? I mean this crab.
He doesn't like
you've done stranger shit, okay? I've
So
seen
as
it.
you guys are like talking and kind of just chatting up here on this roof, you all hear this like super loud just crack, and you kind of like are all startled from where this is. And as you look kind of more to the southern area, you do see this metal huge rod sticking straight up maybe about 30-40 feet into the air, and lightning coming from the clouds above is striking this rod. Seducious, roll a perception check for me.
23.
23.
I rolled an 18.
Yeah, your
5.
bearings are pretty solid up here. That metal rod, that appears to be a lightning rod, goes straight down to where the altar probably was. Your spatial recognition kind of lets you know that it was probably on top. So just to make it super clear, this is the lightning rod, and you guys are here.
Yeah, I feel like that lightning rod is there on the map for a reason.
You trying to get up in that or what?
I'm dying.
Can I?
Wait,
Okay.
can you do anything? Can you do anything with that charm storm that you got earlier?
I'm trying to think. Like, is it worth it for me to like roll an investigation check on the lightning rod to like figure out like what I can do with, or what I should?
You're trying to suss out what it does.
Yeah.
Roll an Arcana check for me. Let's see, because you can kind of tell that it seems like it's got some magical properties since it gave you some magical abilities.
Maybe the guy's coming back.
Yeah, can you go back to that?
I didn't roll much. I only rolled a 2. I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, you're not 100% certain. It's hard to say. You can definitely tell just based on spatial reckoning that it's connected to the altar that gave you your power. It still doesn't seem to be like activated. Like when you first touch it, you notice, like before you touched it, you noticed that it was kind of like vibrating. There was some energy there. And while that lightning hit it, it doesn't seem like it amped it up to do that enough yet.
Yeah, that was kind of going through my head. Like if I should use that spell, like cast lightning onto that rod.
So as you're up here, you kind of have the lightning rod in front of you. You have the glowing green pulse happening from above the tower. And at this distance, it's like incredibly, incredibly bright. And then you have the shipwrecks off to your west that you can kind of see. So tower glowing green on top, like vividly green now at this area, at this space. The lightning rod, and then the shipwrecks off the western coast.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna use one of the 3 lightnings I have and just like aim it at that rod.
Okay. So you hit it there, and then a second lightning bolt nails this thing, and it does start to vibrate just a little bit more. You kind of start to pick up on some of the electricity kind of going.
What would happen if I actually touch this thing?
Gotta find out, I guess.
Maybe it'll give you some superpowers.
I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna go walk up to it and touch it.
Okay. Touch it. Roll a d20 for me.
I'm gonna laugh after all that suspense. You touch it, nothing happens.
I'm gonna laugh if I just die. If I get electrocuted and die.
You could.
18.
18. Nothing seems to happen.
Hit it with that charm spell.
Are you like leaving it alone? Are you walking back away? Do you guys want to go up the tower? Do you want to go to the shipwrecks?
Can we like grab it or no? That'd be dumb.
It's a huge ass 40-foot metal rod.
Oh, it's huge. Okay.
And it goes straight into the ground or into the building below you. It's basically a huge rod.
I think we should give the shell back to the freaking ghost lady and see what happens with that green glow on us.
Okay. So you start to walk away. As you start to walk away from it, another just huge loud crack happens as lightning just comes right down on it again. And so the third lightning bolt that hits it, you now notice the same kind of vibrations and magic seem to kind of spark up again from it.
What if we put the little thing we got close to it?
So you kind of walk over, put the conch shell there. Nothing seems to happen.
Let's bounce.
So you guys
wait, are we on the highest? We go higher?
Yeah, you can. The tower goes higher, and at the top of the tower is that, like, the source of what seems to be that very bright, just blindingly bright green light.
Go up there.
Yeah, let's go up there then.
Okay. So you kind of get up to the top as you keep going upwards. And as you come out of this space, you definitely see what is giving giving off this unearthly, bright green pulsing glow. At the pinnacle of this like beacon is like a kind of space. It's a little partly open to the elements, and it's surrounded by this walkway. And an iron railing kind of like keeps you out of the center, with 3 open archways leading into like the center space. Is anyone like looking, trying to figure out what this thing is?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Mhm.
Just roll a Constitution save for me.
Eight.
So 11.
Okay. What was the other? Who else was looking at this thing?
8. I got an 8.
Okay. So if you rolled less than a 10, you are blinded. You cannot see. This thing is just so bright, it's like looking at the sun.
Shoot.
For anyone that looked at it and got higher than a 10, it's still very hard to see, but you can kind of make out shapes. It appears to be a pulsing green heart.
Who has the shell? Is that you?
I think Flux does.
Mm-mm.
Is Zendry that has?
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Zendry picked up the shell.
Yeah, I have the shell.
So I feel like you should try and go like move that shell close to that heart. I feel like somehow maybe that heart will go into the shell.
Yeah, try that.
So you gotta kind of put it closer there. Doesn't seem like anything happens. You know, and Zendry, just a heads up, you are blind, so you just kind of walk in that general direction. And to the rest of the group, like anything magical happened. The light is still there and still pulsing. And it's like, this heart is, like, it looks abnormally large, like 10 times larger than what a normal heart should look like. And it's just...
Dude.
Yeah, I feel like this is the ghost lady's heart.
Or the guy that we freaking killed.
That we just killed, yeah.
Yeah, he had a gaping hole where his heart should be.
He said he always comes back, so maybe this is his portal.
So how can I like what could I roll to figure out like is this thing evil? Is it like what is it?
Roll just a straight intelligence check for me.
Okay. An 8.
You can, even with that, you can put 2 and 2 together here. Like, this thing came out of the dude you killed. It's a heart when this dude had a heart-shaped hole in his chest. So your sense is that, and you remember that when you studied the room of Talos and that religion check you had from earlier, Talos is evil. So anyone that's worshiping Talos and is somehow connected is probably evil.
I couldn't hear that. Did you guys get lag right there or no? Is it just me?
Oh yeah, it is being a little bit laggy.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
The short version is this thing is almost certainly evil.
What?
I feel like we should like try and attack it or kill this heart.
You think so?
All right. I'm in.
We can try. We've already killed the other guy.
Who's trying to hit
I
it?
mean,
And with
I
what?
feel
I
like
can't see it.
Yeah, you're blind. You
Yeah.
can try and just swing randomly. But
Am I the closest to it?
you and Seducius were, because I think you were the people that got up there first and took a look at this thing. The
Yeah,
rest
I
kinda
can
came
try
in.
and take a hit. A blind one.
Yeah, roll to hit with your mace. So d20 plus 4, but you're gonna roll at disadvantage. So when you roll, roll it twice, take the lower number.
Oops. Oh, 18. Wait, you said +4?
Well, yeah. Did you roll twice to take the lower option?
Yeah, I rolled an 18 and a 20.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, there you go. Jesus, you. Okay, so that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage with your mace. So 1d6 plus 2.
1d6 plus 2. Oh, there it is. 4.
4. So you kind of just like swing a couple times, not really able to see, and like hiss at it in your cat voice. And you do feel like you got a decent nick out of it, and it's still there, but you know, it doesn't like bleed per se, but the glowing dims a little bit. At the same time, the pulsing gets faster, just like bubble, 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 bubble. But it is still there and still
Interesting.
putting out light.
Okay, I think I'm gonna use like one of the lightning things I have. I only have 2 left, so I'm gonna try and use one on this heart.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll damage. It'll automatically hit. There's nothing. It can't get out of the way. So the damage on
How
your.
many do you
Let me look at it one more time. I had it earlier. Lightning. Where'd you
think
go?
it was 6? Or...
It is 8d6. Jesus Christ, that thing is so terrible. 8d6.
16.
Yeah, so just this like bolt of electricity shoots through this thing, and it just like you see it crackling and brightening, and now the light is dimming a bit, but the heart is just and finally it just stops pulsing for a second and is there suspended in midair, and you just see it turn to ash slowly and kind of fall to the ground as the light below it like now dissipates and is cut off.
Did anything fall with the ashes?
Is there like a heart in the ground or something?
Nope.
But the glowing.
But the glowing's gone. Yeah, the glowing was the source of this. Zendri, yeah, Zendri would probably be the best person for this. Roll a religion check for me.
13.
13.
Mhm.
So you know that there are some gods that can basically grant their acolytes like eternal life through certain things. Knowing that this heart is connected to Moesco, the person you killed, and the thing that he said was he's gonna come back, you get the sense that if this heart was around, he would have been able to come back. But now that you've destroyed it, he can no longer. So you've kind of destroyed the tether that he had to the world. So now that this glow is gone, you get a very good view, and I'll say the blind kind of wears off now. You get a very good view, all of you, of the coast. And kind of the rest of the vantage point to you. So you see the causeway behind you still, and you do see 5 shipwrecks on the coast that all have their like masts kind of sticking out at different angles. Some are deeper in the water, some are not. And then again, you see that you can go the causeway as well and return the shell that you have, or you can go explore the shipwrecks. Kind of up to you where you want to go.
I think we should give the shell to Ghost Lady.
The ghost
She's
lady,
so
yeah.
lovingly referred to. And then we should find
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs over there, and then freaking have him go do our dirty work since we did all this fighting and I'm almost dead.
Yeah, or at least let's get Mr. Krabs to like help us go look at those shipwrecks or something.
Exactly.
All right.
Maybe
Yeah.
he'll take pity on the fact that I'm not feeling well, that I'm almost dead.
Yeah, let's go back to Ghost Lady.
So you
Can I heal?
Sure. Who are you trying to heal? Yourself or Flux?
Flux.
Okay. How do you want to heal her? You got a couple of choices.
Let me see. What damage does she have? What damage do you have left?
Bro, I'm at a 10 out of 25, so I'm 15 down, homegirl.
Can I do a second level cure wound?
How many second level spells have you cast? I just want to check. None.
None.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Go for it.
Yeah. What do I do now?
So just check off, like if you hit cast next to second level cure wounds, it'll automatically check it off for you. And then you see where it says like in
Okay.
that column, like what would normally be like damage or effect, it says 2d8 plus 2. So that's what you roll, and that's what life she gets back.
She gets 15.
Nice.
That's
This-
exactly what I need.
Back to full.
Woohoo!
Back to full.
Hell
Oh, that's
yeah.
lucky. Go.
This is how we do it.
So she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder, Flux, and you feel this like surge of healing energy. And are you guys walking back to Moral now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Ghost Lady, right? What's her name?
That's
As
the
you're
ghost
walking out of the
bride.
building, I need you guys to roll a stealth check.
A stealth check?
Mm-hmm.
20.
What's going on? You got loaded dice over there or what?
Yeah.
Dude, just get that freaking jailbroken app, dude. Just roll 20s.
No, I'm lucky tonight.
I haven't heard the term jailbroken in a minute.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
16.
I got 8.
Okay.
12.
Nice. All right, so that's enough for the group. You do kind of sneak past. You do hear like along the opposite end of where you are, this like avian-like screeching. But so far, nothing in the skies that seem particularly dangerous right now. As you make your way down the stone kind of steps that are hewn into the rock face and down back to the causeway towards Moral. And as you walk back in there, you hear kind of this whooshing kind of water gushing noise as she starts to kind of form up around you. And she says, "Did you bring it?
What?
Do you have it?
Did
I
you
need
what?
it. Do you have
Oh,
it?
He
fuck.
asked me if we
You
were
have it.
I need it back. Bring it back.
Bring it back?
You promised. You promised me.
Oh, we have it. Here, give it to her.
You have it, Xander. You give it to
You
her.
have it.
And
Yeah,
you
you
see,
Oh, I
like,
have it. Okay, so I'm giving it.
so she kind of like floats around the room very energetically, and you feel this like pull around you. It's almost like now you're underwater in a way, and then she finally like kind of swims like through the air back towards you, puts it in both of her hands, and you see her like kind of undeadly, ghastly form kind of shape into a more like fleshy, like actual real being just for a second as she looks at you and she goes, "Thank you," and she just like fades away. And as she fades, the shell drops down on the floor in front of you, as she seems to have been freed from this curse of undeath into the afterlife that she was longing for.
Oh, wow.
And the shell kind of sits on the ground in front of you. This large opalescent, conch
I
shell.
think I should keep the shell.
Mhm.
Match
So I'll put that in your inventory. I can handle that for you. Let me add that to
Yeah.
one conch shell.
Thanks. It holds magical powers.
Whoever holds it gets to speak.
Let's add a custom item. Okay, what do you guys want to do now? You got Mr. Krabasis hopefully still on the beach there. You've got the shipwrecks.
Crevices.
Yeah, I'll take crab.
Let's charm my boyfriend and see if he can help us.
Yeah, Celeste hasn't met him yet.
Ben, you should turn into like a lady crab or something.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got in my repertoire.
I actually think crabs are hermaphroditic. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's true.
I think you're right. Yeah, like frogs.
So you walk back to the beach, and there is a giant pink crab still on the shoreline.
Hey,
What's up, boo?
And so he kind of like turns to you. He doesn't say anything. He just like
Oh, he can't talk anymore.
Of
Oh,
course
no.
I can talk. I just like to mess with you every now and then.
Oh,
It's so good to see you back again.
I got real sad for a second.
I know. I jest sometimes. You know, it's important to find the humor in life.
Well, I love a man with a good sense of humor. I mean, a
Haha.
crab with a good sense of humor.
Well, you know, and indubitably that is something that I have lots of is humor. I don't know how much longer this will last, though. Morel has told me that you were able to free her, and I am quite excited for it. I mean, she gave me intelligence, but the only goal she gave me in life was to rescue her, and that has been done. So now I feel I have no purpose, which is frightening and
But you do have a
worrisome.
purpose. You do have a purpose. You do. We need your help, remember?
Oh,
Said
indeed,
if
yes,
we-
that's
we
correct. I
help-
did promise you that I would seek out some treasure for you from the shipwrecks, avoiding the sharks.
Yeah. Are you in a position to make good on your promise?
Of course,
Okay.
Mr. Krabuses never lie.
Wonderful. Well, we're gonna take you up on your offer. We saw some shipwrecks kind of on the other side of the tower over there. Would you,
Yes, there are several there. Yes.
Love it. You know what, Torin? Would you be able to shapeshift and maybe help him and just go along with him just in case he needs help?
I may need help. Yeah, there are sharks there, but I could probably avoid them if I swim fast enough and I'm subtle.
I don't think I can swim yet.
Let's look together. You may be able to.
I don't know. I can change this into a cow. Maybe I can just float or something.
Well, cows don't float. I'm pretty sure we can. I'm almost positive you can swim. Let me just check.
Can I only do from wild shape category?
Are you in manage extras or just the list I already built for you?
Manage. Like
Yeah, you can only do wild shape category.
Okay.
But I'm almost certain you can swim.
Oh, okay. Maybe I haven't clicked on one that is different. I don't have like elk.
I'm pretty sure spiders can swim too.
I could transition into a tiger, dude. Just go Joe Exotic on him.
Oh.
Let's go, baby.
Red scorpion.
Just look out for Carol Baskin.
At third level, you
That's
have
right. Velociraptor.
No, I guess
You can turn into a velociraptor?
no swimming until level 4.
Okay.
Yeah, no swimming just yet.
Yeah. And I can't fly, so I'm kind of a no-go till we get closer, because then I can do water stuff when we get close.
Okay.
If you would, you could accompany back to me that side and point out perhaps which ships you would like to go to. Or
Sure.
I could just go on my own and attempt to bring something back for you, yes?
Yeah.
I'm happy to assist you, and if you would like my recommendation, perhaps I would just bring you something. A gift, perhaps, to show my love. I mean, my admiration for you. You do seem to elicit a response in me. I'm not sure. I don't typically have these feelings for non-crustaceans. I'm so embarrassed.
Well,
No,
don't be
see.
embarrassed. This happens a lot, but I'm still very flattered.
Does it happen a lot? I don't know if it happens a lot. I'm very concerned.
Well, don't
I
be
feel like my
concerned.
heart, which is just really blood and guts on the inside of this crab's insides, are much different than yours, I'm certain. But it does seem like it's going quite fast. I feel like it's just an exciting part of my life I've never experienced before. Yes.
All those feelings are quite normal. So there's no need to be embarrassed. But yes, we would all appreciate it if you found some treasure for us, since we worked so hard to save your friend.
Yes, indeed. Anything for you, Lady Flux, and the rest of your brave adventuring party. It was quite wonderful to see this finally accomplished. I've been here for quite some time now. So he does kind of like go into the water, and 10 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by,
Damn it.
and
I wanted to send somebody with us.
30
Can any
minutes.
of us actually like swim?
goes by. It's like 45 minutes or so, and finally you start to see a little bit of a shape kind of come out of the water. And it's Mr. Krabus has returned. And as he's like starting to walk out, you see Empty Claws kind of reach the beach. But he does get back on land. And in his back pincers, as he's like dragging it on, is a rather like elegant looking sword. And
Sword?
A sword. Yeah, a sword.
Yes.
He brought back a sword?
He brought back a
He
sword.
brought back a sword.
I found this. This was the one that looked the most exciting. There were actually other things though, but then I saw the shark, Dagomar, and he's quite the asshole. I don't know how else to put him. I really, like, he scares me, and I'm barely smart enough to even know fear, you know. But I was able to grab this without him noticing. There is more if you'd want to go and check out some of the other shipwrecks. But I was able to bring this back before I was eaten, which is not something I am fond of, as you can probably guess.
Yeah. Well, this is very impressive. I appreciate this, Mr. Kravis.
Yes, for anything for you, Lady Flux, as I said.
That's
If you'd
very
like to know where the other
kind.
treasures are, perhaps we can walk that way and I can tell you. I don't know if you want to get more. It may not be worth the risk. The shark is quite large and quite scary. But, you know, I would
Well,
never want to insult
let-
you. I'm sure you're very brave.
Let me just talk to the rest of the party, okay?
Of course, I'll be right here waiting. What else am I going to do?
Okay. Do you guys want to go over there and check for more treasure, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think we
Yes.
should. Also, like, this like Dagomar shark thingy, like, can we kill it for Mr. Kravis's? Maybe we should find out if that's like
I think we
possible.
should do him a solid, yes. That
I
sword's
think
pretty
we should.
sweet.
Do we?
Yeah.
Should we
Nothing but
take
kind
him
enough.
with us?
I don't want to risk his life at all.
True.
I feel like we probably have an advantage, and he's probably just 100% shark bait. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's see.
How are we gonna get down there and kill the shark?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you
the
don't-
shipwrecks aren't very. I mean, I certainly would love to weigh in here. One, I don't mind going with you. I've been down there several times. I certainly won't be fighting. I am not the fighting type. I'm a lover. You know this, Lady Flux. But it's not the point. That's not quite what I wanted to say. But the shipwrecks aren't quite that deep. You know, you'd have to dive down maybe about 10, maybe 20 feet at most. I think the challenge would be holding your breath for quite some time. But, you know, if you're fast and good with the blade, perhaps you could take a couple pot shots at Daggermon and he'd swim off. I don't know. It's you know, quite up to you, indeed.
Hmm. Okay. What do you guys think? Are you up for another challenge?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Let's follow.
Mr. Krabbis, would it be okay if I took that sword?
Of course, I got it for you, specifically.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to ask. You know, I wasn't just gonna take it from you.
So he does hand you the sword. Roll an Arcana check. It does seem to be having like a slight magical glow to it.
Okay. I've got a 6.
6. You're not sure what it does, but it does seem to be a pretty special weapon. You're not sure if it has an effect. For right now, we'll just call it a longsword. Are you going to keep it, or are you going to give it to someone else in your party?
Oh, it was a gift from my boyfriend, so I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna re-gift it.
And are you going to start using this first, or are you going to keep your rapier on hand?
I think I'll probably start using that first, especially if we're gonna go into uncharted waters. No pun intended.
Okay. I don't. I mean,
Maybe pun intended.
fair enough. The next bit might be a little bit varied in time, so it's 11. Do you all want to soldier on, or shall we pause here? I
I'm
just want to
down
know
for
what the
whatever.
over-under is, if Mr. Kravis is still going to be part of this, or if I start winding down. That's all I want to know.
I don't care either way.
Like, how long do you think it'll be? Like more than an hour, or?
I don't entirely know. It kind of depends. I don't think
Got it.
it'll be more than an hour, but I truly don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine, but it's obviously up to you guys too. Like, I don't know what everyone has going on.
Nope. You know, I gotta wake up tomorrow.
It's okay to
Yeah.
say we should pause here. I wanted to give it to the group if anyone had to bail. Now's the time.
Yeah, it's fine. If someone has to get their foot, that's fine. We can pause.
Yeah,
I don't care either way. I'm just waiting.
I think it's a
I'm gonna be waking up like
happen.
3 times at some point. So
Yeah.
Oh.
Good time to break.
yeah, my goal every night is to get to bed by 12, so I get at least 5 hours of some
Yeah.
sort.
It's probably a good plan.
So,
Well, why don't we?
but yeah,
Why don't we stop here then, and we'll continue
Okay.
when we pick up next week. Kind of stopping Moesco and pretty much putting an end to him, and then catching up and releasing Moral and getting into the water for the next one. We'll see how that one goes. Cool beans.
are we? Where are we at technically standing right now? Are we by the crab?
You are by the crab, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can go for like another hour. It just depends. What do you guys want to do? If you want to call it for.
I'm down for whatever. I don't have any obligation. I just have to be up tomorrow morning at 9.
Seems like everyone's good to keep going. Okay, we'll keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Kravis just kind of turns to the rest of you and goes, very well, I think we should probably head in that direction. I noticed you were engaged with the Hoppies, so I might maybe point you on how to avoid them. If we sneakily just kind of hug the cliff face, we won't really have to deal with them. They typically live on the south side. They have a bit of an area over there where their nests are. If you go in that direction, that's quite stupid and foolish. So I would certainly avoid that area. Although I don't know, it's certainly kind of a challenge. Yeah, probably we should go around the north side. I believe that's probably the best way to go. Yes. So he starts to like swim around the north side. Are you guys like gonna go in the water, kind of behind him, and just kind of swim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
can
let's
spiders
do
swim?
this.
I'm gonna have to change back to my normal form.
Yeah, so you kind of start swimming around this way, and like the water right now isn't too rough. It's still pretty like consistent. The storms aren't so bad, and so you do make it around. It's a little tiring though. Like you're swimming a pretty good ways as you kind of crest to the first kind of ship, and he shares. This is the. I can read just a little bit, but I believe the name of this place is the Star-Crossed Lover. That was the name of this ship, which is quite the name, don't you think, Lady Flux? It was something I really wanted to share with you. I'm so excited. I'm blushing again. Oh boy. He says as he continues kind of going you through. We can pass right over this one. This is actually the place where I got this particular weapon from. So he kind of takes you past it as you swim through, and he takes you to this first ship after the Star-Crossed Lover, and he says, I noticed something here. There's a chest. I think there's probably something. Usually, what I've discovered is that you humans. I don't know. What's the nice way to say that? Bipedal creatures. Yes. Yes. Put important things inside of chests. There's a chest inside this place. Is anyone going to check out this particular chest?
I'll go check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
Roll for everyone who's going down. So you're kind of diving underwater.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll a Constitution check. Actually, sorry, scratch that. Roll an Athletics check. You're kind of swimming down.
19.
I got 10.
10.
Okay.
10.
Athletic.
Well, am I a spider still?
14.
I don't know if I can swim or not.
You're not a spider anymore. It's
I
been
got
more
a
than an hour. It would have detected.
I got a 6.
Okay. Anyone get less than a 10?
No.
Cool. So you do kind of manage. Right now, it's not too deep. The bottom is only like to the deck. It's only about maybe like 10, 15 feet. This is pretty high up on a rock crash that it was crashed on. You do see a chest in some of the corridors that you're kind of looking through. It's kind of hard to get to though. You can kind of see it between like some cracked pieces of door and wood in this area. Is anyone going to try to get into that chest?
Yeah, I am.
Go ahead and just roll a. Now I would like you to roll a Constitution check. I just want to see if you can hold your breath long enough to get in there and kind of pry open this chest.
Should a what check?
A Constitution
I
check,
see.
but just for Seducius because he's the one going into it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I only rolled a 3, like total of 3.
So you start to make it kind of to the first portion, and you just like realize that you're having a hard time holding your breath, and you just give up before you can even really get close to it. So you swim back up to the surface.
Yeah.
Are you sharing what you saw with your friends, or are you gonna try again?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share with what I saw. Did you say what I actually saw though?
You're the only person that saw it.
Okay. Well,
Better
I mean, I feel like all I saw was the chest, and it was just too far for me to hold my breath. So if someone thinks they can hold their breath longer, by all means, dive in.
I'll try.
Who's trying next? Was that Flux? So you dive in as well. I'd like you to roll a Constitution check. See if you can hold your breath down there long enough.
I got a 6 total.
6 total. Yeah. So you try to get in there, and it's like just it's hard to get through and over everything as you're kind of diving in at the same time. And you kind of swim back up to the surface, not able to get it.
Yeah, I can't get it, guys.
Mr.
I can't
Kravis
hold my
is like,
breath long enough.
perhaps we shouldn't linger here for much longer. I do think the sharks might be there. If you perhaps we could try treasure hunting at a different shipwreck, just to be safe. Not that I'm scared or anything. No.
Should we try or keep going? I could try.
I don't know what else to try.
Hey, even though we're in the water, am I able to use a spell here?
Sort of. So if your spell says it requires certain things like materials, like voice, or like hand gestures. If something requires voice, it's marked with a V. I will let you get one of those spells off before you lose your breath and have to get it back up to the surface.
Okay. Now, I have so can I use my mage hand?
Sure. What do you want to try to do with your mage hand?
Well, I mean, so it can go 30 feet away. Like, can it go and it can open things? So can it like go open the chest and it's in there?
You could try.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of dive down. You can see it from where you are, and you cast Mage Hand. And you're there just long enough to kind of see that Mage Hand goes out and gets to it. Mage Hand tries and opens the chest, and it gets stuck. The chest is locked.
Oh, I lost you there. What did you say?
The chest is locked.
Okay.
Your Mage Hand can't quite open the top of it. It's actually locked.
Oh. You can't?
You don't have the ability. One, you don't know how to use Thieves' Tools, so your Mage Hand wouldn't know how to use Thieves' Tools. But the chest is actually physically locked. It's not just shut.
Yeah. Oh, I read it wrong. It says you can open an unlocked door.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go.
maybe we'll find like the key or something on a different ship. I thought we were gonna be stuck with this lock and it's all rubbish around it. I think we should listen to Travis's and kind of look at the ship.
Is there a way to
I
like?
want to impose. I just noticed that there are sharks in these waters, and it can be quite perilous if you're not cautious and aware of your surroundings. Is all I'm saying. We should not linger in any one location for long.
Well,
Not that
we
I'm
don't wanna
scared,
put
Lady Flux. You
ourselves-
must know I'm quite brave. Absolutely.
Oh no, I know. I totally understand that, and I appreciate you looking out for all of our well-being.
Yes, I'm
We don't wanna
terribly
put you in
concerned for
any-
you.
Totally understandable. Thank you so much for your kind heart. Maybe we should move on, y'all.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should
Yeah.
try the ship.
Let's try another ship.
So you go to the next ship in the docket and kind of swim down a little bit. That's this one here. And as you start to pass it, Mr. Krabs just kind of pipes up and he's like, "Oh yes, this is the Vainglory. I did notice some interesting things in the captain's quarters here. He was wearing quite a unique cloak. It seemed magical, but I couldn't quite tell what it did. And he was dead after all. It wasn't like he had much use of it, but there might be something, yes, interesting, quite interesting inside of this.
Cool.
Okay,
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
go down there and check it out.
Can you get it for us?
I could certainly try, but I would just be a little concerned if I ran into something a little scarier than fish.
Like what?
The sharks. I mentioned the sharks before earlier, did I not? I could mention them again. There's Daggermaw. He's quite scary. He has some other friends. They're also scary, but not as scary as Daggermaw.
Oh shit.
I wanna kill Dagomar for you, Krabisis. I
I'm
wanna
sure
find
if
him.
he waits around long enough, he'll show up. He's quite the asshole.
Can he talk too?
No, I'm the only one that was gifted the gift of speech and intelligence by Moral. But not Dagomar. That's just what we've known him as in the undersea community.
Undersea.
All right. Well, let me try and dive in and see if I can do better on this.
Okay, do me a favor and roll a Constitution check as well for me. See if you can hold your breath long enough to get into the captain's quarters of the Vainglory.
So 14 total this time.
Cool. So this one doesn't seem to be as bad of a shipwreck, and the captain's quarters are high on deck as per usual, kind of near the back of the ship, which is easily accessible from the outside of the water. So you kind of dive in there, and you do see there's this corpse of a skeleton, kind of laying, kind of face down on a bed. What was a bed, and he does have a cloak on him, and the cloak does seem to have a little bit of a magical shimmer to it.
I'm gonna try and swim up and grab that cloak while I still have.
You do so pretty easily. The skeleton essentially just falls apart as you remove the cloak, and it's just a pile of bones now. You do have a cloak in your inventory. Roll a quick Arcana check for me. See if you can kind of suss out a little bit of what it does.
14 again total.
You're not 100% certain because you only got a quick look at it as you're trying to catch your breath, but the markings on it seem to be kind of like ever changing, almost as if this cloak can kind of change its appearance a little bit. And I will put into your inventory what it is.
I got Thor's cape.
You got the invisibility.
Great, that's all you need.
I'm actually really glad that Seducius is the character that got this one.
Yeah. Let's go.
Your outfit is almost complete.
Oh,
Alright, Seducius.
I already got the physique and the attitude.
It is now in your inventory.
Dude,
What did you say about attitude?
said I already have the physique and the attitude. Now I have the cape, so I'm almost there.
So you kind of continue on as you come up, and Mr. Krabs sees you grab the coat, and he wishes you congratulations. He's like, "Oh, very well done. That was quite the spectacle you've given us there. I'm super impressed with your ability to grab a inanimate cloak. Still not quite as impressive as the Lady Flux and the work that she's done, but regardless, I think that's quite nice. Yes, quite nice. Congratulations. I certainly award your endeavors there. Nice. Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. We all have our own favorites. It's okay if Flux is your favorite. I understand.
Indeed.
What?
On to the next then, shall we?
Yes. What ship should we check out next, Mr. Krabs?
And as Mr. Krabs is kind of starting to mention, you hear him say something like the Golden Gull, and then it's just a, oh no! And I need everyone to roll initiative.
What?
Oh no!
He said, "Oh no."
I really want to have a mustache and like a monocle or something.
Dude,
You said, did you want everyone to lit?
Yes, I need everyone to roll initiative.
He's like the Mr. Peanut guy or whatever.
Yeah, the crab. One of his legs is like wood. Okay, I got 21.
I'm just trying so hard not to what's the word? Not to slip into like a Scottish accent. It's like very because I'm not good at the British one.
Yeah.
I just want to check one.
I got a 16.
I got 11.
Hold those numbers for me. I just want to check one quick thing because it didn't tell me what creature.
Me, I mean, this whole time I haven't heard any Scottish accent at all. It sounds great.
Awesome. So, I don't know if you're just giving me lip service or being serious.
I just didn't know that they had crabs in Scotland.
They have cabs anywhere there's a coast, obviously.
You can get crabs anywhere.
Trent actually knows that. So does Seduce.
Wow.
Hey. Boom, roasted.
Hunter shock. Let's try that one. Insert creatures. Monster. Yes.
Trent, you need to adjust that clock behind you.
Yeah, it's out of batteries. That's been out of batteries for like the whole time I've lived here. I installed that shit. Ran out of batteries quick.
Alright, Flux, what did you get for initiative?
I got 11.
11. Then Seducius?
I got 18.
And then Sless?
14.
And Torin?
Got that breadstick. That
11?
one.
One, okay, one breadstick. Singular breadstick. Zendri?
Yeah.
Just the one breadstick, dude.
16.
16. Found him. Okay.
Terrible.
So as you hear Mr. Krabasis shout out, "Oh no!" You do see two dorsal fins kind of start coming out the water at you and Mr. Krabasis quite quickly. And one seems to be abnormally larger than the other. They are kind of on the surface along with you, so they haven't like dived down. They're with you kind of at surface level. First up is Seducius. And just to give you some context as to where they are to you, they're just starting to swim up, and you guys are at the other end of the Vainglory. A little separated because you decided to kind of search a little bit more. Celeste between the center and Torin. Got that breadstick. We'll put you at the end. And there you are.
Uh-oh. Oh, damn.
All right.
Oh,
First up, though,
no.
is Seducius.
Okay. And each
Save
square
my baby daddy.
What's that?
each square is about 5 feet.
Yes. So H1 is obviously, like you see, he takes up more than one square. He's huge. He's a big shark. He's such a big shark.
Oh, shit. Save my baby daddy.
I knowing that's a big ass shark, I'm gonna use the last of my freaking lightning on that.
Okay.
I've one more of those.
Yeah, you can definitely hit it, and it wouldn't hit any of your peers. So that's 8d6
Yeah.
on that guy. Can I make a suggestion, Craig, just so you see it? Just like
Yeah.
so you can kind of learn a little bit of some of the strategy when you're fighting too. Let me just get rid of this first. Delete. Okay, so you can move about there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say you were closer with that one because I actually put you on the wrong side of the map. If you can get like in this area, that line, like if you position yourself, can go that way and get both of them.
Oh snap! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So what you want to think about is like if it's a line or a cone or a sphere, how do I maximize the effect here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had you on the wrong side, so.
Okay. Yeah, dude. I'm down for that. Obviously, it's my last my lightning. So.
So do 8d6, and we're gonna see if it hits them both. They gotta roll more than that. Ooh, okay. One got a natural 20. Yeah. One got a 14. So they actually did both make their saves, but they're still gonna take damage just half. I think though if they're in the water, they might get more. Let me just check.
Yeah, I rolled good too.
Let's check if it has any weaknesses. Senses, languages. No. Okay.
So yeah, 8d6. I got 34 total.
34. So he's gonna take 16 points of damage.
17.
17. Sorry. Yeah. One more on that one. And then
Don't cheat us out of that 1 point.
Yada yada. The other one does. So Daggermaw does take a pretty good hit in there, but he's able to resist a lot of that strength of lightning that you have. The kind of secondary shark doppelganger hanger-on does take quite a bit more and is not looking so pretty. But that does going to bring him back to Daggermaw, who kind of comes up, and seeing that is just going to head straight towards the first target in its path, which he was swimming towards first, which is going to be Zendri. And he's going to just try to like chomp down on you, Zendri. And he rolls an 8 plus 6 is 14. What's your armor class then? 13, right? That seems low for you. Why is it so low, Zendri?
It is, I know.
Oh yeah, you're only wearing leather armor because you wanted to sneak. So that does hit, and you take 13 points of damage as he just chomps onto your side.
Rude.
And that'll end his
Hold
turn,
on,
but that will
sorry.
bring us to your turn, Zendri, if you would like to go.
Wait. Both my AirPods are dying.
Oh no!
I'm getting like, I put one in and it's like, I put the other one in and I did the same thing.
I feel like my AirPods have, like, my first gens are on the way out. I gotta get new ones.
Oh yeah,
Same.
I can't even get through a whole download with both mine in.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
I
like
got to
an
do
hour
one at a
into it.
time.
I gotta
Yeah,
get new ones.
Wait, what
That's
is
why I got these power beats though.
that's right.
Yeah. The Power Beats Pros, I love them.
I love mine.
I
But
can't, I honestly like,
you can't what? You cut out there a second.
But I can't hear you unless I have my AirPods in.
Oh, it's so weird.
I just have
Your computer
crap
doesn't have
quality, I guess.
doesn't have a. Can't you put it out of your computer?
Yeah, what the heck?
Her speakers are like super low. If it's an old 2012 MacBook, her speakers probably need to be cleaned.
I thought, well, no, she probably still has the tape on her.
Very funny. Ha ha. Okay. Okay, it's my turn. Sorry.
Yes.
Let's do this. Oh, I'm like literally. Am I like right swimming over this guy or what?
No, he's like, you guys are at the same level pretty much. He's on the surface, you're on the surface, and he just like bit you.
Can I like stab him?
You can stab him. You can try and use that spell again. You've got a bunch of choices.
What? No, I'm gonna hit him with my mace.
All right, sure. Roll to hit. So D20 plus 4.
Real dice. 11.
That misses as you kind of like can't quite get the purchase in the water to really land through this dude's big attack. That'll bring us to Celeste. Your turn.
All right, I'm gonna do burning hands.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that mean you have to touch the shark when you use that?
No, burning hands shoots out a cone out of your hands. He does. Yeah, you're within 15 feet, and if you angle it, you won't hit Zendri.
Well, which am I the guy in the hat?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could basically that's a 15-foot cone.
Yeah. Okay.
You see that orange cone? That's basically
Yeah.
burning hands. So you can hit it. And I think burning hands is DC 13 for me. Let's see if he avoids it. Whew, he does not. 2. Okay. So go ahead and roll damage. That's going to be 3d6 full fire damage to this guy.
11.
11, nice. Okay. So yeah, as the fire kind of like spreads out of your hands and you shoot it forward, it hits it. It actually catches parts of like the ship mast and some of the rigging that was still there, and that's kind of gone up in flame a little bit and has now got some smoldering and flames going on top of the ship as well. Anything else with your turn? Any movements or anything?
I feel like I want to back up a little bit.
Sure. Where do you want to go?
This guy's pretty big, so yeah, probably about that.
Cool. As you back up, he does try to hit you with his tail because you leave his combat zone. He does hit you, and we'll say that's an improvised hit, so it's going to be 1d4 plus strength. 4. What's his strength on the shark here? You're going to take 8 points of damage as he just whaps you with his tail as he gets out of his range.
Dang.
Yes,
I'm
I
down
told you
to-
Daggermaw's quite scary. Yes.
I'm down to 6 health now. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The squishy cannons. So that's gonna bring us to Flux. It's your turn now.
Oh shit! All right. Let's see. I think I've already cast 2 spells already. Yeah.
I'm pretty certain. I know you did your smite and you did Hunter's Mark.
Yeah,
so
and I
sure.
did Hunter's Mark.
I appreciate you're starting to get the spell mechanic though. This is good.
Listen. When I get it, I get it. All right. No.
You do have like an ability you can use once per day, I think. Where you can abjure enemy, and it has a potential to frighten an enemy and like freeze
Is that
them.
Bane?
That's abjure enemy.
No.
It's if you look on
Sorry,
your features and traits, class feature should be down a little bit. Yeah, channel divinity. It's one of the things of the Oath of Vengeance you took.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
You also get
Yes.
another one called Vow of Enmity. That it's kind of like Hunter's Mark a bit for that enemy. You don't do extra damage like on your rolls, but it does give you some extra features. So those might be 2 that you want to consider through.
I think I want to do abjure enemy.
Okay. So let's see if he fails. He does not. Anything else? Yeah. So as you kind of like try to like frighten this thing off by calling in on your god's willpower, it's just not quite enough to get this mindless, ferocious beast off of Zendri. But that is your turn unless you want to move anywhere.
No, I think I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm far enough away.
So that'll bring us now to the other shark, who has taken a bunch, but he's just gonna swim in, and I think he's just gonna attack the same thing that dagger mod is attacking. So he's gonna go after Zendri as well.
Yeah, holy moly. Save me.
So he is. Yeah, just gonna try to bite you too. He gets advantage because he's with someone. Yeah, that's
Everyone
definitely
wants a
gonna hit
piece of that.
you. You're gonna take another 6 points of damage there, Zendri, as he also bites into you, and you've got both of these sharks trying to just do work.
How much?
6.
Dang.
So that's 12 total? Oh, man.
I knew we shouldn't help this crab.
How much did Daggermaw do in the first hit to you?
6.
So yeah, you should be 12 points down from 21.
So I just updated it. I think I updated it.
Not quite seeing it.
Wait. Is it there now?
There it goes. Okay, yeah. So that'll end its turn. Torin, that makes it your turn now. You're kind of hugging the wall of the coast.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Like 1 square left, 1 square up, basically, like hug the wall a little bit closer, so I can hit both these guys with my Thunder Wave.
I think Thunder Wave is a 15-foot cube out of you. So if you want to hit them with it, you're gonna have to try to get here.
Oh, I have to be closer.
Yeah, Thunder Wave is like it's a cube, a 15-foot cube that comes out of you. It's not like you can pick
Alright, let's
where
do
it
it.
is.
Let's go right there.
Okay.
That was a straight shot. Okay.
Torin for Thunder Wave. Are you going first level or second level, by the way?
Second level.
Okay, so DC 12.
We're going hard in the paint. Here we go.
The Daggermar succeeds, and the Reef Shark succeeds, so they're only going to take half damage on that.
Yeah.
So roll 3d8, and then we'll cut it in half.
3d8. Is that the 0 one?
No, 3d8. It looks like a pyramid. You'll tell because it has 8 as the first number.
Oh, okay. 3d8 plus.
There's no plus on that one.
Oh, just 3d8. 11 in total.
11 total. Nice. Okay. So as you kind of like go and like slack your hands together to cause this like ripple effect, the smaller shark just like passes out. It's dead and gone and starting to sink towards the bottom already. Daggermaw does take another big hit out of that, but it's still swimming and still kind of like chomped onto Zendri, not giving up as it just like tenaciously just keeps going for it. Which will bring us back to Seducius.
I'm gonna lose a body part, y'all.
Seduce, save him.
Yo, like.
Seduce.
Save me.
What are you down to, life-wise?
9 out of 21.
Yeah, I'm down to 6.
Shit.
I'll you pull back.
Okay.
You gotta kill him.
I'm just worried if I don't kill him, then he's gonna friggin' kill you. So I'm trying to figure out if I should heal you or kill this thing.
Oh no, it's Daggermaw! Run! Flee! Flee, my love!
Technically, should I be okay? Like, it's not like another shark is coming to bite me.
At this moment, no.
That you know of.
That I know of. So maybe you should just try and hit this motherfucker.
Boy.
Shake that fool.
Yeah. Take him out.
Got him like a fish.
You know, us in the undersea community, we do find that type of talk a little offensive. We try not to be too politically correct over here, but still, you know, it's
Oh, my apologies, darling. I'm
quite
so
unkind.
What'd you say?
Sorry. Darling, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I forgive you, always.
All right, I'm gonna try. I guess I'll try and do dissonant whispers on one on Dagmar.
So I assume you're going at first level?
Yeah, that's all I have left.
Go ahead and let's see. Roll your damage and I'll see if it affects. We'll do it at the same time. We'll see.
So I got 5.
5 total on 3d6. You got 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he succeeded his save, so he's gonna take half. So that's 3 damage. He's not dead yet. He's still in there, but barely. And it is gonna bring us to Daggermaw, and he's gonna stay in on Zendri. I'm sorry, Zendri. This is the part that doesn't always feel good. So he's gonna try and bite you again. We're gonna see if it hits.
Okay.
That's cocked. Okay, I'm just gonna show this to you so you know I'm not being nice. He got 9 plus 6. I think that's, yeah. He got a 9 plus 6. That's 15. That is gonna hit you. So he does another 13 points of damage to you.
Oh my gosh.
Am I dead?
So you're not dead. We'll explain death. Like, it's gotta happen once, just so we know what the rules are. So you drop to 0 hit points. You are at 0. There's no like negative. You're essentially unconscious and bleeding out. On each of your turns, you have to roll what are called death saving throws. If you get 3 fails, you die. And it's basically just a d20. Over 10 is success. Under 10, so 10 and up is good. Under 10 is bad. If you fail under 10 3 times, you are dead. Right now you're unconscious. People are still able to heal you over your 0 and get you back alive, or at least stabilize you.
Okay.
The other things to note while you're dying, because you're dying right now, is if you take damage, it automatically counts as a death saving throw.
Wait, say that last part one more time.
If you take damage of any type, even from like drowning as an example, you immediately fail 1 death save throw out of your 3.
Okay.
If you roll a natural 1, so a critical failure, it's 2 fails. If you roll a natural 20, you immediately actually come back to 1 health point and you are alive again.
Okay, so I gotta do 3.
Yeah, so it is your turn. You are unconscious, so right now I just need you to roll a death save, so a d20, and see what you get.
16.
Okay, so first success. So far so good. You're not dead yet.
9.
No, you don't. You're gonna go each of your turns, so don't just roll them
Oh,
back to back.
damn. So I'm just lying on my deathbed, y'all.
Yeah, correct. And that's where the struggles are gonna happen, because you are currently gonna end up floating under the water, which is gonna be bad soonish. But Sless, it is your turn. You've just seen your accomplice, colleague, maybe friend, pass out and is bleeding out, slipping under the waves.
All right. Well, I feel like I need to. So she could drown, right?
She can. Yeah, her next turn, she's basically going to take 1 failure automatically because she's slipping under the water unless someone gets there and is able to pull her up.
Okay. Do I have the ability to do an attack and to go help her?
No. Well, do you have? I might be speaking too fast. Let me just check something here real quick. Features and traits. No, yeah. Let me just see what bonus actions you have. That's what I'm trying to find. Bonus actions. Yeah, no, you don't have anything that you could do that fast. Just while I'm here, though, on like a separate note, you have an ability called Hellish Rebuke. Anytime you take damage, you can cast it, so it doesn't have to happen on your turn. It's a reaction, and it actually does damage back to the thing that hurt you. So like earlier,
I knew that.
if you saw
Okay.
that, you would have been able to hurt Daggermaw as well. So just
Got
a
it.
reminder that you have that ability.
Okay.
But in this case, no. You can get to her, and as your action, try to get her up over the water and hold her so she doesn't drown, or you can just go into Daggermaw, who does look like he's on death's door here. Kind of up to you.
Yeah. Well, then if that's the case, let me kill him, and then who's after me? Flux.
Yes.
Flux, are you gonna be able to go and grab her out of the water?
Yeah, I mean, the worst case, if it comes back to me, I'll get her out of the water
Yeah.
before I
Okay.
attack. Yeah.
All right. Then let me go ahead and attack this guy.
Okay. How do you want to attack it?
I am gonna do. I will do Ice Knife because I already used both my second level spells. So
I just would be conscientious of Ice Knife, because when Ice Knife hits something, it explodes and sends shrapnel, which would hurt your teammate there.
oh, okay.
And,
I forgot that.
and automatically fail a death save for Adriana. So don't do that.
No.
Okay.
Firebolt would work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. All right. Let me do Firebolt.
Okay. So roll to hit. It's a D20 plus 5.
Nice to be.
17.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So now go ahead and roll damage. It's 1d10.
9.
Nice. Okay, so this firebolt just comes shooting across, like skimming the top of the waves. It kind of spins like a football just right into this thing. And it hits Daggermaw like right in his eyes. He's trying to reel back and take one more finishing bite out of Zendri. And it just hits him right in the jaw. And you see the lower half of his jaw just shoot off and disintegrate with the fire as it goes. And now it's just like a only upper lip, and he kind of fades off into the ocean, floating downwards as well. As you kill Daggermaw. But
Yeah.
you guys seemingly are safe now. Zendri, though, is starting to slip under the water, dying still.
I'm dying.
Yeah, I mean, let me do some friggin' healing word over there. I mean, let me whisper Seducius to her and pick her up.
Yeah, so you cast Healing Word on her. Zendri kind of takes a deep breath in and just as she kind of comes out, still kind of bruised, but alive again.
I saved you!
How much health do you give her, Seducius?
Oh, hold on.
It's 1d4 plus 3 for
Yep.
Healing Word.
Yep. 3, so 6.
6, nice. 6 points, so you're back to 6.
Yay.
Hey.
Hey, just like me.
Yep. Twins. All right.
So you still got a few shipwrecks left. There's a couple that haven't been explored yet. Mr. Krabbis kind of pipes in and he goes, I really, that was quite a scary ordeal. I don't know if, I don't know what to say. Thank you, I think. But also, are you okay? Oh, I'm so worried about you. Oh, no. I know this isn't the time for jokes. It's quite serious.
I mean, Mr. Krabs says, like, do you think there are more sharks out there, especially ones as big as Daggermaw?
I don't know if the rest would linger given Daggermaw's death. They kind of were, what's the word you use in humanoid speak? Kiss asses. Yes, they would really just hang around him. If you ended Daggermaw, there's a good chance that they'll probably leave us alone and we can explore in relative safety. But I don't 100% know. I would say if we're going to check things out, we should do it rather quickly. Yes, quite fast.
Okay. How many more shipwrecks are there?
2.
2.
2?
Yes, 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably just knock these 2 out then.
So we'll do these ones pretty quickly because you did clear the monsters. So he takes you kind of to the first one, and lets you know this one is called the Golden Gull. Who's going to try and investigate this spot?
I got it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a Constitution check for me.
Um, 11.
11. So you're able to get down there enough and kind of see as you're kind of like searching through separate rooms. And right inside like the first entry point behind that of the steerage, you do see that there is a large chest, really large, that is there. But as soon as you try to open it, it kind of locks up on you. It does seem like it's locked, and that's right when you run out of breath and able to swim back up.
Okay. Am I able to maybe go back down with a couple others, and we can maybe all grab it and bring it back out with us? Or is it too heavy?
Yeah, you probably want to be able to lift it out, but you know it's locked. Is anyone in your party able to use thieves' tools? Anyone have that proficiency?
I don't think so.
Where would we find that under features and traits?
If you look
Yeah.
on the left too, on your main page, there's an area for like proficiencies in languages. It'll be in tools.
None.
Nope. You have none. Neither does Flux. Torin does not. But Zendria is going to be your saving grace here. She doesn't have proficiency in thieves tools, but she has a ability that's part of the class choice that she chose. That like domain that you chose at the beginning. It gives you what's called knowledge of the ages, which lets you once per day be proficient in any skill or any tool for 10 minutes.
How come I didn't know I had this?
Because you don't remember creating this character 6
You're right. Because I created this character in a very big rush. All right. What is it called?
It's Channel Divinity. It's your Knowledge of Ages ability. It's not a spell. It's going to be in your like features and traits section if you look at class features.
Hey, it's okay, Adriana. I tried to make up the sleep. Thought I could just do that. So
Yeah, I mean, at least you tried.
yeah, Tony gave me a hard time for that, by the way.
What did he say?
Well, I kind of brought it up, and he's like, "Well, why did you think you could just make something up like that?" And I was like, "Because the whole game is up. Like, why can't I do that?"
What did you want to do? Why don't I remember this?
Remember when you said like, "Oh, like what rooms everybody in?" I was like, "Oh, I don't sleep," and I thought like you said,
that's
"Okay."
right. That's right.
Yeah. And the next time you're like, "Wait, I don't see that in your." I'm like,
Okay, wait. So where are we at?
You're at so like you see the ship that's kind of kitty corner on the bottom left.
Yeah.
You're like above that. So if you can get down there
Okay.
and hold your breath long enough, you might be able to use like a pick or a lock pick.
Let's try it.
Cool. So roll a Constitution check. See if you're there.
All right. Really? 3?
Yeah, not enough.
Oh.
You can't hold your breath quite enough to kind of get there as you're still trying to get that lock open, and you kind of have to bubble back up to the surface. And
Yeah.
as you get back up, you hear Mr. Krabbis is kind of explaining. Well, I like I said, I don't think there's going to be too many sharks for longer, but I don't think we'll have too many other shots at this. We'll probably have maybe 2 more dives before it's probably going to be time to go. We're on the side with the harpies as well.
"Oh,
So we can
harpies,
maybe
that's
either
right."
give a couple more shots at this particular shipwreck, or we can move on to the next one and see if there's anything else there.
Try again with that chest.
You want to try that one again?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So go ahead and roll another Constitution check for me.
Me?
Yep. You're the only one that's got the ability to try.
Got it. Okay. 9.
9. Still not enough. Yeah, you get down there and you're like.
Damn it.
Dang.
One more.
One more?
This would be your last one if you won't have enough time to check out the other one, just to put it out there in the world.
Do you want me to go down for this one, or we want to go to the other?
I mean, we don't even know if the other one has anything in it, right?
Fair.
At this point.
All right. +1. 18.
Okay,
There
it gets
we
you
go.
down there. Now that you're down there, and that was a pretty high roll, so I'll say you're down there for a bit. You got to try to still unlock this thing. So I need
Okay.
you to roll. This one I got to remember what the math is. So you're gonna roll a dexterity check, and you're gonna add.
Okay.
You only have you don't have anything. You're only gonna add 2 to it.
Okay. 16.
That's enough. The chest opens up. You see a lot of coinage inside of this thing.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Um,
Payday.
Jeremy loves money.
So
That's
these
right.
pieces actually don't look like they're gold. It's a big chest with a lot of coin in there. Like I said, these pieces don't look like they're gold. They look like they're a different denomination, but they don't look like silver pieces. So you assume these are worth more than gold. I would say you've seen these before. You've been in this particular world a while. These are what are called electum pieces, or EP. Each one is worth 100 gold pieces, and there are about 120 electum pieces here. So just some quick
Yes.
math. That's times 100. That's about 12,000 gold down here.
What
Yeah.
the?
Damn.
Mhm.
Do it.
How do I
Jeremy's
grab all this?
Oh, actually, sorry, I did that wrong. I did the math wrong. That wasn't right.
Oh,
Sorry, I was like,
bigger
that's way too
number.
much. It's still a could
It's
still
12.
Let me just check the EP.
yeah. Like, it's not 12,000. It's actually.
It's actually 12. Just 12 total.
Yeah.
We got $1,200 though.
I'm pretty sure it's
I was-
1200.
Stimulus check.
$1,200. It should be more than that.
That stimulus chest, dude.
I was gonna say
Yes. Stimulus. Yes.
12,000. I was going to go back to that town and buy the whole town from what's his name. Kick him out.
Seducius can get Helga a little something nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Went over, got his new stepson a little something something. Hey, my boyfriend got us here, so you got to give me a little bit.
So what's are you still calculating the number?
Yeah. Okay, so 30 gold pieces. So 120 times 30. So it's each one is actually worth 30 gold pieces, and that's 3,600 gold. Still
Okay.
quite a bit.
Yeah. All right. How many can we grab at a time?
I would say if you each go down there, you can probably grab. There's 120 total pieces, and they're they're not. It's not like it's that much, but you can probably clear it in a couple of dives if you all go down there at the same time.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Do it.
We need that gold.
So you guys go and grab it. I would like all of you to roll Constitution checks.
Oh.
See how much you can end up grabbing before you just switch to the surplus.
17.
Okay.
13.
9.
I got 15.
I got 19.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So
Let's go.
all of you except for Torin are able to grab. Hold on. Are able to grab. Yeah, except for Torin, are able to grab 24 pieces, which is essentially your share of that. Torin, because he got less than 10, was only able to grab 15 pieces of that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, Torin.
Lion, dude.
Do I need to add anything?
And then who rolled the highest on that Constitution check?
Look.
Nicole.
Nicole got 19, and then who got a 17? I think that was the second highest.
I did.
So you actually, as you were kind of in there, you noticed there were some pearls around there as well. So each of you grabbed 3 pearls.
Ooh. Ew.
Early whirlies.
I feel so fancy.
Fancy.
Do we add that in somewhere?
That pearl necklace. Quit trying to cheat us out of that.
I'm not trying to. I just the number I know seems higher than I was expecting for this level. That seems a lot. They don't. There's not a lot of places that use this particular currency, and so the verbiage is weird. In either case, I'll find out later. So Flux and Zendri have 3 pearls each and 24 electum pieces. Everybody else has 24 electum pieces except for Torin. Torin has 15 electum pieces. And with that, as you get there, you start to notice that Mr. Krampus is getting really antsy. And is basically saying, "We should go. I think if we're here any longer, it's probably going to be an issue." And you start to hear like the of like the harpy birds
Yeah.
around.
Uh-oh.
It's time to
GTFO.
dip. It's time
Go back to
dip.
shore again.
So you do make it back towards the shore without too much issue. You actually circle back the other way, just to avoid the harpies, and you get it back over there at a time that kind of makes sense. It's now probably about midday with Mr. Krampus on the shore, and we'll pick up, I think, there next time.